Necromancer Summoner. I can see potential in Snatch the Goddess. Chapter 61. A gentle hand reached out and wiped away her tears, just like when she was a child and secretly cried because she couldn't bear the hardship of training. Lin Guo'er turned around with tears in her eyes and saw Lin Yin looking at her lovingly and smiling gently. I don't blame you. Lin Guo'er threw herself into her arms and burst into tears. Yan Shuijin's eyes turned red and she sighed. The white bone mirror beside her, which Li Xiao called a mobile phone, suddenly vibrated wildly. A message. That King Qin Chu. Li Xiao was taking a rest. When he heard the noise, he turned around to take a look. Yeah, Yan Shuijin handed him the phone. It seems like you're here to ask for money again. Li Xiao took the phone and opened it. Sure enough, lines of text flashed on the lavender screen. Qin Mengmong. What the hell? Fellow countrymen, we're fellow countrymen. Qin Mengmong. I know the next sentence. The symbol depends on the quadrant, right? You are also a time traveler. I can actually see my fellow countrymen in this place. Qin Mengmong. You must believe me, right? You know I'm not kidding, right? I also traveled through time, and traveled to this dark room. I am really a descendant of Qin Shi Huang, and my title is Qin Chu Wang. I really didn't lie to you. Qin Mengmong. Let's get some money. You are the great Qin State Master, so you must know my situation, right? I really didn't lie to you. I can only get out if I can get 300,000 yuan. You must believe me. At worst, I will be your girlfriend after you get out. I am very beautiful. Qin Mengmong. Brother, I am also a time traveler like you. It seems that this girl is very excited. Dakin State Master. You also have a system. Qin Mengmong. Oh my god, we are from the same hometown. Yes, I have a system here, but this system is too useless. It asked me to send a message saying, I, the first king of Qin, send money. Then it asked me to collect 300,000 yuan before I could inherit the throne. Qin Mengmong. I have sent millions of messages, but no one has sent me money, except you. Oh, no, it's your wife, you should call her sister-in-law. Only sister-in-law sent me $1. Hey, you have a wife. Qin Mengmong. Then I can't be your girlfriend anymore. Dakin State Master. Why not? Qin Mengmong. No way, now that we have a system, we have to be fair, right? Great Qin State Master. Just tell me whether you are willing or not. Qin Mengmong. If I say I don't want to, will you still give me money? Dakin State Master. What do you think? Qin Mengmong. You are indeed a man, haha. Great Qin State Master. Okay, see you later. Qin Mengmong. No. I agree, okay. You take me out, I'm really tired of staying in this place. Great Qin State Master. I'll ask them. Qin Mengmong. No way, brother, you are so wild, how many goddesses do you have? Great Qin State Master. Not many, less than 130. Great Qin State Master. There will be 20 more every day. Qin Mengmong. Your system is a summoning system. I'm so envious. My broken system is useless except for cheating people out of money. Great Qin State Master. Speaking of which, I'm really not that interested in the women in our world. They're all little fairies, and I really can't serve them well. Qin Mengmong. Come on, brother, I'm not a fairy, I'm really not a fairy, brother, are you handsome? Li Xiao's mouth twitched. Dakin State Master. It's okay, you can't see my profile picture. I can see your profile picture here, is this your real self? Qin Mengmong. It's real, brother. A pure, cute and charming 18-year-old beautiful girl. I've never even been in a relationship, and I've never even held a boy's hand. Dakin State Master. You said that and I feel uneasy. Also, I don't stay at home, thank you. Qin Mengmong. I really didn't lie, brother. I've read some male-oriented novels before, but they're not that bad. If you're really rich, pretty, and capable, I can do it. Are you handsome? Dakin State Master. You are still obsessed with looks. Qin Mengmong. That's true, as long as you're not an old man, I really can't accept you if you're an old man. As long as you're not old, I really can accept you. Qin Mengmong. You are not an old man, are you? Great Qin State Master. I am 22 this year. Qin Mengmong. That's good. You believe me. Dakin State Master. Do you know how much 300,000 is? This 300,000 is not the currency of the world we used to live in. Qin Mengmong. Ah, how much is that worth? Great Qin State Master. Even if you sell the 100,000 troops you inherited, I estimate that they would only fetch 70,000 or 80,000 at most. Qin Mengmong. Oh my god, is the money this broken system asks so valuable? Qin Mengmong. Woo woo woo, please save me. As long as you save me, I will be very obedient. I really can't stay here any longer. Qin Mengmong. You save me. I just want to live. If I can't collect 300,000 within a year, the system will kill me. Great Qin State Master. Qin Mengmong. I will really be very good and obedient, not making any noise, and be well behaved, just like those on TV. Please save me. Qin Mengmong. Let me tell you this, as long as you save me, I will give you my life. Okay. Great Qin State Master. Wait a moment. Li Xiao put his attention away from the phone and typed words on the panel. Yan, check the signal transmission of this thing in my hand. It seems that this phone is connected to another system. Is it your fellow villager? Honey, please wait a moment. Signal search function activated. Searching. Special quantum state signal found. Signal category. Third stage structure of the Spiriton project. Signal analysis in progress. Analysis completed. Name. Emperor Assistance System not yet activated. Function. Take over the luck of the Emperor's status and evolve by helping the host to condense the Emperor's status. Final evolution form. Myriad Worlds Immortal Court System theoretical. Flaws of this system. Unknown mutations may occur during the evolution process, with a 23.27% to 36.52% chance of mutation into a great dictatorship system. There is a 11.29% to 17.82% chance of mutation into a female emperor supremacy system. The system firewall is parsing completed. The underlying logic of this system is being analyzed. Analysis completed. It is found that this system has applicable modules that can help suppress the Crimson Origin. Sending a friendly data sharing request. The request is rejected. What a shameless person. Activate the system data assimilation capability, and capture the opponent's system data firewall. Capture completed. Starting the underlying logic tampering program, tampering with the system data, tampering completed. Activate the infinite data swallowing function, activate the deep red source energy conversion function, activate and complete, data swallowing begins, swallowing is complete. The target data core code has been tampered with. The system is corrected to Subsystem, Forbidden Beauty System not enabled. Li Xiao was stunned. A series of data attacked the firewall, but it was generally apparent that Qin Mengmeng's system was no match for Yan, and even the underlying logic of the system could be easily analyzed and tampered with. The new system description interface was also displayed in front of Li Xiao. Subsystem, Taboo Beauty System not activated. Host, Qin Mengmeng. System function. By gathering luck, the host's strength, appearance, and figure will continue to evolve to a perfect form. The host can transform female targets into forbidden beauties. Consume beauties, points to upgrade them. The more beauties there are and the higher their ranks, the stronger the host will be. System goal. Use the beauty, love, and tenderness of the most beautiful woman in the world to dissolve the fierce and evil spirit of the deep red origin. System modules. Beauty mission. Beauty mall. Beauty advancement. Taboo favor. Subsystem logic analysis. The Forbidden Beauty System is an auxiliary system independent of the Forbidden Bride, Forbidden Slave, and Forbidden Guard, and is under the ultimate control of the Forbidden Master. The Forbidden Beauties can convert their killing of enemies, obtaining of resources and luck into Beauties points. Beauties points can be used to purchase corresponding mental skills, magical powers, equipment, etc. in the Beauties Mall, or they can be used to directly upgrade Beauties. The beauty points consumed by the beauties will enter the Mother System Resource Library to offset the consumption of the Crimson Sacrifice. Yan, does this mean that Qin Mengmeng's system has become my harem? Li Xiao couldn't help but ask. It can be understood that the core capability of that system is actually the currency system, which can convert the acquired resources into fixed currency. I took over its currency system and turned it into beauty points. Then I connected the energy of the Crimson Origin to the mall system. In this way, the subsystem can help me continuously refine the power of the Crimson Origin, dissolve the fierce and evil spirit of the Crimson Origin, and transform it into nutrients for the growth of the beauties. Husband, the power of the Crimson Origin is too strong. It is too difficult for you to control it alone. So I will find you more wives to help you control, refine, and subdue the Crimson Origin. Each beauty must accept the taboo mark before entering the taboo beauty system. Therefore, their loyalty can be fully guaranteed. You should like this function. That's right, I like it very much. Li Xiao understood. To put it bluntly, it means to transform the Crimson Origin into a resource for my wife's growth, right? Yes, I will transform the fierce and destructive spirit into a beautiful wife to accompany you. Replacing destruction with love is my greatest purpose and goal. Thank you for your concern. Li Xiao's heart moved slightly. By the way, is Qin Mengmeng's situation really as she said? Beauty Qin Mengmeng, host of the subsystem Forbidden Beauty System. 18 years old, 165 centimeters tall, 47 kilograms in weight. Based on the full-body physiological scan and mind memory data reading, it is determined that the target is not lying, and she has indeed never had a boyfriend. She said she's been locked up in a small dark room for 9 years. What's going on? Will she get sick from being locked up? Li Xiao was really worried. Host exclusive item. A Fang Palace, first level. Total area 23,663 square meters. Equipped with exclusive bedrooms, bathrooms, swimming pools, training rooms, indoor gardens and other facilities. As the host's cultivation level improves, this item will continue to grow and add more functional buildings. She lives in here, but she can't go out because she has to complete the initial task of activating the system. It's just 300,000 undead source crystals. Her husband doesn't need to think about using crimson sacrifices. He should pay attention to his lifespan. Just find a way to make money. Qin Mengmeng, this is my family's property, the Afang Palace. You won't lose out, brother. Oh my god, Li Xiao was shocked. Why call a super luxurious villa of more than 20,000 square meters a small black room? What's wrong with Qin Mengmeng? And it has all the necessary facilities. Oh my god, Li Xiao looked at his bare Xuanwang space, not knowing what to say. Yan Shuijin is injured, but there is not even a quilt here. Yan, can we find a way to build something similar to the Afang Palace? Li Xiao couldn't help but ask. It is a condensation of the Qin Emperor's luck contained in Qin Mengmeng's bloodline, which is activated after the subsystem is bound. It is a unique item. Wait until the taboo beauty system grows for a period of time, and then you can enter. Please be patient. Li Xiao sighed, especially when he exited the consciousness space and saw Yan Shuijin struggling to move despite the discomfort. He suddenly felt a sense of guilt. The underworld is such a place, it's so hard to even find a quilt. Picking up the phone again, Li Xiao quickly wrote. Great Qin State Master, alright. Qin Mengmeng, how is it? Qin Mengmeng seemed to be waiting for a reply, and she basically replied within seconds. Great Qin State Master, I have something to tell you. Qin Mengmeng, Master, you speak, I listen. As long as you are willing to save me, I can say anything. Great Qin State Master, don't worry, I will definitely save you. Qin Mengmeng, wow, the Imperial Master is so nice, woo, I will definitely follow you obediently after I get out. Great Qin State Master, don't worry, I have to explain the situation to you clearly. Qin Mengmeng, you talk, I'm listening. Great Qin State Master, just now, my system heard about the existence of another system, so I sent a greeting to your system. Qin Mengmeng, I didn't react. Dakin State Master, your activation task has not been completed yet, so of course I don't know. Don't interrupt me, just listen to me. My system greeted your system, but your system was not polite, so my system was quite angry. Qin Mengmeng, then what? Dakin State Master, then my system will transform your system into my shape. Qin Mengmeng, what does it mean to change my system into your shape? Dakin State Master, your system's future evolutionary goal is to serve me. To put it simply, after your system is activated, you may need to find many goddesses. Find me many goddesses. Qin Mengmeng, my system will serve you in the future. Dakin State Master, in short, after your system is activated, the main mission goal is to find me a wife. Can you accept this? Qin Mengmeng, do I have a choice? Can I change this system? Great Qin State Master, I don't have that ability yet. Qin Mengmeng, then what difference does it make whether I accept it or not? Don't I have to accept it? Otherwise, I'm doomed, right? Great Chin State Master. Ahem. This is indeed something I did not expect. To be honest, my current level of evolution is not high, so I cannot intervene in the fight between the two systems. Chin Mengmong. I thought I traveled to a female-oriented world, but I didn't expect to travel to a male-oriented world. No, Master, why is your system so obedient? And it's so powerful that my system can't beat it. Great Chin State Master. Ahem, Yan Yan does have some abilities. Chin Mengmong. Yan Yan. System. Girlification. No way. Imperial Master, you don't even let your own system go. Ah, how come this girl is so smart? Chin Mengmong. Brother, I understand who you are. I know you definitely like this style. Dakin State Master. Well, my hobbies are indeed quite broad. Chin Mengmong. So, can you rescue me now? Dakin State Master. I have only saved over 100,000 now, not even 300,000. Don't worry, there is a dungeon to complete now, and I think it will be enough after I finish it. Chin Mengmong. Okay, be careful, brother. Dakin State Master. Do you feel uncomfortable? Chin Mengmong. To put it bluntly, I will be the queen in the future, and I will have to choose concubines for you. That's fine, I plan to be your flannel ball, as long as you can save me, anything is fine. Chin Mengmong. By the way, are you handsome? Yan Yan, can this phone be equipped with a camera function? Li Xiao asked in the depths of his consciousness. A red electric light flashed on the phone, spreading a lightning-like pattern on the white bone mirror-like phone. Later, the simple chat interface of the mobile phone was equipped with the ability to take photos and video. Li Xiao took a few photos of herself and sent them without saying a word. Chin Mengmong. Wow, the national teacher is so handsome, look at his face, his nose. Not bad, not bad. Take a few more photos. Li Xiao sighed, picked up his phone and took a few more photos. Chin Mengmong. Don't worry, Imperial Master. I like you very much. Great Chin State Master. You are still a Chin Mengmong. Probably. I don't know, but I am a little excited now. The Great Chin State Master. No picture, no truth. Take a picture and let's see. Chin Mengmong. My phone doesn't have a camera function. How did you do this? How did you take the photo? Yan Yan. Li Xiao called out again in his consciousness. It is more difficult to modify the other terminal because the subsystem has not been truly activated. Don't use Crimson Sacrifice to save your life for such a small matter. Honey, if you want to see what she looks like now, I can transfer the data to you. All right, Dakin State Master. When I gather 300,000, I will help you activate the system, and your phone will be able to take photos. Chin Mengmong. Okay, I'll wait for you, husband. Great Chin State Master. You really don't mind. Chin Mengmong. Are you scared of being beaten by women's fists? Ha ha ha. Okay, I care a lot. I'm so angry, but what can I do? If I want to save my life, I can only follow you unwillingly. Great Chin State Master. Chin Mengmong. Send me a few more photos. Oh, what does your sister-in-law look like? Let me see what kind of fairy can match this handsome guy. Li Xiao was helpless, then thought of something and asked in her mind, Yan Yan, Chin Mengmeng lives alone, right? There is no one else, right? Yes, otherwise she wouldn't be so bored. I'll send you some photos of her. A moment later, a picture appeared in Li Xiao's mind. In an extremely luxuriously decorated suite, a girl with loose black hair was staring at her phone excitedly and dancing, looking very happy. The girl was indeed the avatar on the mobile phone chat interface, and she looked even prettier than the avatar. Chin Mengmong. Brother, are you satisfied with my appearance? Li Xiao felt relieved, raised his phone, and took a panoramic photo of the mysterious world. It would be good to let her get familiar with the atmosphere. Chin Mengmong. Oh my gosh. It's so lively. Chin Mengmong. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is the main wife, right? This temperament, this appearance, she is a fairy. Brother, what is the name of this fairy sister-in-law? The Great Chin State Master, Yan Shuijin. Chin Mengmong. Wow, this is really like seeing a living fairy. When you have time, take a serious photo of Zhang Yanji, and I will learn how to dress like her. Great Chin State Master, Chin Mengmong. By the way, do you like pure or hot? We can be royal, sweet, pure or hot. When we meet, I will follow your favorite style. The Great Chin State Master. With your looks, I like you no matter what you look like. Qin Mengmong. Oh my, your compliment makes me so happy. Actually, I really like you. Your eyebrows and eyes are just what I like. Great Qin State Master. Are you trying to make me happy or are you sincere? Even if you don't try so hard to please me, I will still save you. Qin Mengmong. This is your fault. Once you say something, it's over. How can you take it seriously? Great Qin State Master. Qin Mengmong. Oh, that's not right. I was so excited that I made a mistake. What I mean is, once something is said, it's like spilled water. Once it's spitted out, it's a nail. It must be true. Great Qin State Master. I will save you, no matter what, I will save you as soon as possible. Qin Mengmong. Do you believe it? I fell in love with you the first time I saw your photo. Maybe it's because I've been in this place for too long and haven't seen a boy for too long. Anyway, no matter what you want me to do, I'm willing to do it. I'm serious. Dakin State Master. Do you believe it? Actually, I liked you when I saw your profile picture. No matter what, I am ready to make 300,000 yuan. You know what, I haven't played with my phone for a long time, but I got quite addicted while chatting. It was not until Yan Shuijin got angry and Lin Yin, who had recovered her mood, came over with Lin Guo'er that Li Xiao lost interest in chatting. After resting for a while, Li Xiao led the forbidden cavalry out and continued to fight in the wild. I have to play jungle. I only have 170,000 yuan now. If I want to make more money in a short period of time, I'm afraid that the legal way will not be enough. A man cannot become rich without unexpected wealth, and a horse cannot grow fat without night grass. Qin Mengmong was still waiting for 300,000 yuan to save her life, so Li Xiao naturally felt a sense of urgency. Of course, the little bit of harvest from the wild is just a drop in the ocean. The skeleton troops around the castle, which number at most a few hundred, can harvest more than 100 undead origin crystals if they are led by a general. If there were no generals, there would be at most 30 or 50 of them, which is better than nothing. The most important thing for playing in the wild is to hone the combat ability and combat coordination of the forbidden cavalry. They all have the talent of combat instinct, which can be learned and evolved in constant battles. On the other hand, it also improves Li Xiao's own combat skills. There are currently 2 ways to improve his strength. One is to upgrade the potential of the Taboo Guardian Gate. From the initial 4th level potential to the 5th level King level, you can directly feed back attribute points, which is simple and straightforward. The other is to rely on constant fighting, training and practice. Whether it is combat skills, combat reactions or the refined control of magic power, it requires constant fighting to improve. Li Xiao's current basic attributes are completely comparable to those of the top 2nd level soldiers, and his spirit points have reached 44, which is the level of a 3rd level magician. In actual combat, with the sword skills such as the Taiyuan Samsara sword in hand, there is no problem in defeating the 2nd level soldiers, and even 3 at once, but wanting to deal with a general is just a dream. However, he still had a Great Void Extinction in his hand that he hadn't used yet, and wanted to find a place to try it out. So when he was hunting in the wild, he actually searched around to see if there were any large barracks. The power radius of the Great Void Extinction art is the upper limit of Li Xiao's magic value. His magic value is now 4,400 points, so this magical power can cover an area with a diameter of nearly 9 kilometers. This is enough to cover a large barracks with more than 100,000 people. So the next question is how powerful this move is. We must try it, so that we can have a clear idea. While fighting in the wild, the forbidden cavalry searched for the barracks in a spiral pattern. It took less than 5 hours to find a barracks. This is very normal. In the entire Demon Silver Castle, there are 7 top generals, hundreds of 3rd level generals, and the total number of undead armies under their command is definitely more than 5 million. Unless one is an extremely rare warrior with spatial talent, or possesses a magical weapon with an independent space like the Xuanwang steel, it is impossible to carry such a large army with him. So we must build a barracks. There are barracks inside the Magic Silver Castle, but the castle is only so big after all, and only a small number of elite troops are stationed inside. The real main force of the army is all outside the castle, and large barracks are built in some special locations. These barracks are actually the embodiment of the fortunes of the generals and commanders. Castles, lords, kingdoms, the final result is these endless barracks. The barracks that Li Xiao found this time were small, and the camp was spread out over an area of about 12 or 13 kilometers. A huge bone banner was erected in front of the camp. There were dark purple thunder marks on the flag made of broken bones. It was the barracks under the command of General Mole, one of the 7 generals. Li Xiao took a quick glance, and a detailed statistical list appeared on the panel in his mind. A small barracks was found. The total force is 266,278 people, including 17 third-level generals, 187,686 second-level combat soldiers, 74,656 first-level militiamen, and 3,919 miscellaneous soldiers of lower ranks. Without the top generals, no one can stop us if we want to escape. Let's give it a try. Li Xiao turned to look at Yan Shuijin and no one. Then let's give it a try. Yan Shuijin chuckled. See what Li Lang is capable of. Even if we can't kill many, we can still get you away. Master, just let go and do it. Number 1 also nodded. Obviously, this barracks with only a dozen generals was not a dangerous place for the two of them, and they agreed to Li Xiao's plan to show off. They were indeed curious. Li Xiao, the Forbidden Master profession, strictly speaking, only had one attack skill. Forbidden Dragon might belongs to the control system, and Taiyuan Samsara Sword is learned additionally. There aren't many forbidden abilities, but each one is very powerful. So how powerful is the only proper attack skill so far? Li Xiao activated the Xuanwang steel and collected the rest of the people into the Xuanwang space. Then, one of them held Yan Shuijin and number 1 for protection, and whispered, "No." 2. A shadow emerged from under his feet, covering the 3 people who were hugging each other, and then it turned into a shadow and activated the shadow jumping function towards the military camp. 2 skull-like sun and moon were suspended in the void, casting grayish-white light on the land of the underworld. In a place like a military camp, there were always shadows. Silently sneaking into an area slightly closer to the center of the military camp, shadows emerged and manifested themselves into 3 figures. The 2 generals stationed nearby were startled, their swords flashed, and they were dead in an instant. A ball of blazing dark golden light appeared in Li Xiao's hand, which turned into a layer of light shield that enveloped the 3 of them. Then, dark golden lightning bolts instantly radiated and spread to the entire military camp. Sensing that the magic power in his body had reached its boiling point, and instantly spread into a huge halo with a diameter of 8.8 kilometers, covering more than 90% of the area of the entire military camp, Li Xiao roared in a very childish way. Feel the wrath of my Crimson King. Great Void Extinction Technique. Li Xiao, if I don't use my ultimate move, you guys won't know how powerful I am, right? Shouting the names of moves during a fight was undoubtedly a stupid and immature behavior, but at this moment, Li Xiao really felt the blood in his body boiling. The surging magic power surged out and was consumed completely in an instant. Immediately afterwards, a scene appeared that Yan Shuijin and number 1 would never forget. Within an area with a diameter of 8.8 kilometers, the dark golden lightning flashed and disappeared quickly, and it seemed that it had no effect. But the next moment, everything in this range, bones, barracks, stones, skeleton soldiers, skeleton horses, camps, ordnance, weapons, everything collapsed in an instant. It was truly a collapse. Everything was transformed from a solid state into dust, and then further shattered and differentiated until it disappeared. If you have a microscopic vision, you can see that the matter is broken down into molecules and atoms, and continues to decompose until it eventually evolves into an entangled quantum cloud. This quantum cloud affects the surrounding energy spectrum at the most basic level of rules. A huge amount of undead origin surged out, attracted by the entangled quantum cloud, quickly condensed, and finally turned into a crystal as clear as a glass marble. Li Xiao felt a strong sense of fatigue, as if she had been doing team building with Yan Shuijin and number 1 for a month. This move of the Great Void Extinction Art consumed not only his magic power, but also his physical strength and energy. Li Xiao managed to hold on for 3 seconds, but in the end he couldn't bear it anymore, his eyes went dark, and he fainted. Fortunately, Yan Shuijin and number 1 were holding him by his side and immediately held him in place. Number 1 waved his hand, and with a flick of his dragon power, he grabbed the crystal in his hand. Then, he looked down with shock on his face. Everything within the 8.8 kilometer diameter area was gone, completely wiped out. Moreover, this diameter is not just a diameter on a plane level, it is a 3-dimensional spherical space. A standard hemispherical pit appeared on the ground, with a diameter of 8.8 kilometers. The cross-section was extremely smooth, as if someone had dug it neatly with a spoon. Inside the deep pit of the earth, on the extremely smooth edge of the incision, one can also see strange structures deep in the fault, which are a mixture of various bones and rocks. The name, Boundless Sea of Bones, is definitely a good one. The layer of stacked bones is more than 5 kilometers thick and there is no bottom at all. Go first. Yan Shuijin whispered a warning, and a sword light wrapped around the three of them and flowed away into the distance. When he fainted, Li Xiao's consciousness returned to the first step in front of the Red Temple. Sure, do you think I'm awesome? Li Xiao proudly showed off like a little kid. A blue light screen appeared before my eyes, and white words appeared calmly. Well, my husband is really amazing. In the end, I seem to see that the essence of the undead was condensed together, right? Li Xiao remembered something. Void Death Crystal, small. A rare energy crystal. This item has multiple uses. 1. It has the essence of the undead equivalent to 100,000 undead crystals. 2. Being absorbed by undead creatures, there is a chance of awakening void-type talents. 3. When used as raw material to refine magical instruments, there is a chance that void-type attributes will be added. 4th, refining with magic power can increase the lifespan of the Forbidden Overlord by 10 years and enhance the power of the Great Void Extinction Technique. Hey, can I add lives? Li Xiao lit up. Yes, it can increase your lifespan by 10 years, and it can also increase the power of the current Great Void Extinction Technique by about 1%. 10 years doesn't seem to be of much use. Li Xiao pondered, it's equivalent to 100,000 undead source crystals. Well, I'd better keep it for Meng Meng to activate the system. That's more important. After the Great Void Extinction Technique is performed, it can form an entangled quantum cloud, which automatically absorbs the energy in the surrounding void to form crystals. So, husband, if you perform this technique in different places, the effect of the condensed crystals will be different. If this move is performed in a place full of vitality, the lifespan will be greatly increased. The extinction of this ability is not simply extinction, but a kind of refining and purification. However, this move is too heavy. This time, you may have to sleep for 3 days before you can wake up. In the future, unless you are in a last resort or in a place with abundant energy, do not use it lightly. Sleeping for 3 days. Oh my god, wouldn't the cooling time of the forbidden summoning be delayed in vain? Wouldn't I lose 60 wives in vain? Li Xiao was shocked. It won't delay you. The number of times you can summon a taboo summon can be stacked. You don't have to use it right away. You can save up the times. That's good, that's good. Li Xiao was completely relieved. You really like women. Next time you level up, focus on strengthening your abilities in that area, right? Li Shu, can you tell them apart? The one with red words on a blue background is Li Yan, and the one with white words on a blue background is Li Shu. Hey, can this be adjusted? Li Xiao's eyes lit up. I can help you make subtle adjustments and strengthen your abilities in that area. Loving and affectionate relationships can make you feel happy, and you are the best for us. You really don't mind that I'm so shy? Li Xiao blushed for the first time. You can rest assured about this. I don't have the jealousy of an ordinary woman. Everything I do is to make you feel happy. And being astringent is not a bad thing. If you don't have astringent, then the fierce energy of the deep red origin will make you murderous and aggressive, and eventually destroy everything. Compared with this, being astringent is better. If you say that, I'll be proud. Li Xiao was immediately happy. I am lucky to meet a host like you. I'm lucky too. Li Xiao slept for 3 whole days, because when he woke up, the number of forbidden summons on the panel had accumulated to 3. When he woke up, he saw Yan Shuijin's beautiful face, which looked like a fairy from the sky. When he turned his head, he saw number 1's bright, beautiful, and flawless face. The 2 women held him in their arms, one on each side. Number 1 stretched out his dragon wing and spread it on the ground, and the other dragon wing covered it, forming an independent and warm space. Sensing his movement, the 2 women opened their eyes at the same time, then looked at him and laughed. You two should stay like this forever. Li Xiao felt warm in her heart and kissed them respectively. No quarrels, no fights, no quarrels. Just stay by my side harmoniously like this. I really feel that I have nothing else to ask for in this life. No, it is my duty to take good care of the master and the mistress. I won't quarrel with the mistress. Number 1 said softly. Yan Shuijin also chuckled and leaned over to kiss him on the cheek. Don't quarrel, live well, and accompany you well. Yan Shuijin. Think what you think, love what you love. By the way, is that big market about to open? The Blood Demon clan has a lot of treasures, have they not been snatched away? Li Xiao remembered something. Yao Yao has already investigated. Word has spread in the castle that the market will officially begin in about 3 hours. Number 1 said softly, Master, you can still rest for a while. It's still in time. When you used that special move, a crystal was formed, which seemed to be a treasure. Yan Shuijin said. Yinner took the thing around the castle and showed it off. Someone offered 180,000 for it. Do you think it's possible to sell it? 180,000. Sell it, why not? Li Xiao's eyes lit up. If you use that thing directly, it's only equivalent to 100,000 undead source crystals. Now it can be sold for 180,000, which is a big profit. Let's go and sell it now. Just as Li Xiao was about to stand up, Number 1 gently held him down. Leave this kind of small matter to Yinner and Yao Yao. You can rest for a while. Don't worry, no one can bully them. Li Xiao calmed down, looking at the two beauties on her left and right, who had different styles but were equally stunning, and she couldn't help but feel hot again. Thought about it. Looking at his eyes, Number 1 knew what he was thinking and smiled gently. Shuijin, your injury has healed a little, right? Li Xiao coughed lightly. When Lin Yin and Yao Yao came back with more than 187,000 undead source crystals, Li Xiao also stood up refreshed and energetic. Since he came to the underworld, he has never eaten anything or drank anything. There is no food or water in the underworld. In other words, his forbidden demonic body does not need to eat, and can automatically absorb the death energy of the underworld and convert it into nutrients so he can still survive. Today, I finally had a full drink. Moreover, Number 1 secretly told him that when she advanced to the second level, she would have the ability to transform some of her body functions. Then, there will be something sweeter. This made him look forward to it. Yan Shuijin, who was already unable to stand steadily, went back to the Xuanwang space to rest. Li Xiao performed 3 forbidden summons, summoning 60 forbidden cavalrymen, numbered 121 to 180, and then spent 600 undead source crystals to upgrade them to the peak of the second stage. Now, the Forbidden Cavalry's team has expanded to 180 people, and when they launch a cavalry charge, they have some real momentum. When I came to the Magic Silver Castle again, I saw the skeleton mage guarding the gate. He obviously recognized this team and was still easy to talk to. When Lin Yin ejected 10 undead source crystals, he seemed to think for a moment and gave a friendly reminder. Today in the market, the foreign warrior brought a lot of treasures from the Corpse clan. The price is not expensive, but not many people here buy them. You can go and have a look. It's on the west side of the market. Thank you for your reminder. Lin Yin nodded with a smile. It was normal to be mistaken for a zombie clan. After all, in this team, Li Xiao, Number 1 to know. 7, Yan Shuijin, and Lin Yin were obviously the leaders, and they all had physical bodies. The skeleton-like Forbidden Cavalry were obviously just guards. The area of the Corpse clan is adjacent to the Endless Bone Sea. Although they are rare, they still exist. In the military system of the underworld, the Corpse clan should be considered the largest clan and the main force of the basic military forces of the underworld. Entering the Magic Silver Castle, one can feel that the atmosphere is significantly warmer than a few days ago. The scattered barracks and small markets are gone. The entire central area of the castle was vacated, forming a huge market. Now, a group of rank 3 undead warriors were setting up stalls under the command of a group of skeleton mages, displaying their wares. The bunker that had always been closed was also opened. Under the protection of rows of skeleton guards who were blood red and obviously different from other skeleton soldiers, one by one, the blood demon warriors wearing black robes also came out, found the largest and most conspicuous stalls, and began to display strange goods one by one. Everyone's attention was attracted. The Magic Silver Castle is this big. Strictly speaking, it is a relatively closed area, and all goods, materials, and resources are relatively fixed. If a caravan from outside the area comes, they can bring items that Bone Forest does not have, and this kind of trade has always been extremely popular. Of course, in the underworld, where power is everything, if you don't have strong strength, you can't be a caravan. And caravans and bandits are basically synonyms. Speaking of which, they only have 3 generals in total. Now that one is dead, how come they are acting like nothing happened? Li Xiao led the girls walking in the huge market town. Seeing that the whole market town was in good order and the Blood Demon clan warriors coming out of the bunkers were also very calm, she couldn't help but mutter something. The more serious the incident, the more we have to pretend that nothing happened. Lin Yin said softly. After losing a top fighter, they must be panicking internally, but they must not let outsiders notice. Otherwise, if others knew that their strength had been greatly reduced, they would surely attack them collectively. Li Xiao understood instantly, nodded, and turned on the crimson vision to observe. That brilliant golden beam of light was hidden inside the bunker, and it seemed like it had no intention of coming out. There were only 2 purple beams of light around it, representing the potential of the 4th level. There was not even a single silver beam of light. It seems that the Blood Demon bird royal family is indeed suffering from a severe loss of talent. It is also possible that all the remaining luck is concentrated on the last little princess. He managed to create a potential god-level talent, but also exhausted the fate of this royal lineage, which is why they ended up in such a miserable state. The way of luck is extremely mysterious and no one can explain it clearly. Number 1. The stupid AI can never draw my beauty, so just bear with it and watch it. Since the little princess with great potential didn't come out, Li Xiao naturally relaxed and took the girls to stroll leisurely from stall to stall. Now he has nearly 350,000 undead crystals in his hand, which is enough to buy some things. Qin Mengmeng is not in a hurry, because Li Xiao found that making money is not that difficult for him. At worst, I can find a military camp and use the Great Void Extinction spell. To be honest, it feels really good to kill more than 100,000 troops in one move. Etc. Does this count as harboring a sharp blade in one's heart, with the will to kill rising from within? Will he be affected by the fierce aura of the Crimson Origin? No, he couldn't indulge in the pleasure of destruction. His goal was to rescue the countless high-potential beauties in the underworld and give them a warm, happy and blissful home, not just to kill. It's no wonder, after strolling around for a while, Yan Shuijin became interested and bought a few pieces of special metal ores, saying that she wanted to refine a flying sword from the underworld. It seemed that her small bone tower had been successfully transformed and re-refined into a sword case, so she could start the plan of refining the flying sword of the underworld. In the underworld market, metal ores are relatively cheap, and only successfully refined weapons are expensive. The few pieces of ore that Yan Shuijin picked out could not even use up 100 undead source crystals, which was really frugal. After walking around for a while, by chance, I saw the colorful skull artifact again. Yao Yao could hardly open her eyes. But that thing costs 200,000, which is a bit outrageous. Li Xiao must consider whether it is worth spending the money. He did intend to spend some money to buy something, but it did hurt to spend so much at once. See where this stall owner is from and pay attention. If someone else buys the skull, remember its scent. Li Xiao thought about it and said to Lin Yin, as long as this thing leaves this city, we will find a way to get it back. Lin Yin immediately smiled. This is easy, just leave it to me. After walking around for more than 2 hours, Li Xiao was almost halfway through the market, and she hadn't spent much of her money yet. She suddenly felt helpless and complained to the girls. I say, what are you doing? You either buy the cheapest ones, or you fancy the extremely expensive ones. If you like something, can't you buy something in the middle of the price? Isn't it for you to spend my money? If you don't buy anything, I won't even feel a sense of accomplishment. The women looked at each other and laughed. After a moment, a forbidden skeleton soldier walked forward and picked up a black stone from a stall. It's number 8. The stone did have some personality. It looked like a black lotus, but it was rather rough and had a certain charm to it. This one's 3,000, no bargaining. The stall owner was a 3rd-level wizard, shrouded in a black robe, and his mental transmission was very calm. Okay. Li Xiao didn't ask any more questions and asked Lin Yin to pay. The forbidden skeleton soldiers had developed preliminary intelligence and awakened some instincts. Since number 8 instinctively took the thing in her hand, it must be useful to her. Li Xiao didn't care and took this opportunity to show her attitude. Don't be shy, don't be afraid to spend money, buy whatever you want. Now the Lord has money. No, 8 Black Lotus Fairy. Lord, you won't lose money by spending $3,000 to buy this Black Lotus. This action did work. Soon, the magic plant dragon knight number 4 picked up a seed-like stone from a stall and asked, what kind of seed is this? I don't know. I took them from the dead forest. They cost $1,000 each. I don't care what's inside them. The stall owner was a mage from the Blood Demon clan. He said coldly, maybe it's just a useless stone. Number 4 looked at Li Xiao, who waved his hand generously, buy it. Even if it's a useless stone, it's worth it if it makes our baby happy. Number 4's eyes suddenly turned red, and he was so moved that he almost burst into tears. Lin Yin paid the money with a smile, and took a curious look at the seed-like stone, but couldn't tell what it was. She had never walked out of the bone forest, and really didn't know much about things in the outside world. If anyone senses something useful to them, they can take it as long as the price is not high. Number 1 spoke on the Forbidden Soul Connection Network. We are blessed by the Lord and have the talent and instinct to evolve infinitely. Just trust your instincts. Only when we become stronger can we better protect the Lord. Hearing this, many forbidden skeleton soldiers were a little agitated. After a while, number 17 picked up a round bone ball from a stall. Several more forbidden skeleton soldiers went to various stalls to take some things. They did not touch the high-value items such as weapons and armor. They were all stones, bones, ores and other objects. The prices are not high. The black lotus-like stone that number 8 bought for 3,000 yuan is the most expensive. The others range from a few hundred to 1 or 2,000 yuan. In total, more than 30 forbidden skeleton soldiers took the things, and the money spent was only more than 20,000 yuan. Li Xiao finally felt a little sense of accomplishment as a domineering CEO. Of course, only a little bit. He felt that he was not bold enough. If he could buy the colorful crystal skull worth 200,000 with a wave of his hand, he would be able to act like a truly domineering president. After all, we still have to consider leaving 300,000 for Qin Mengmeng. There were indeed many novel things on the Blood Demon clan stall, which were very different from most of the weapons and armor on other stalls. But the embarrassing thing was that none of the girls on Li Xiao's side knew what those things were or whether they were useful. Apart from the forbidden skeleton soldiers who bought some things based on their instinct, the other items were not cheap, but it was unclear what they actually did. The system does not have data in this regard, and Yan Yan's cognition must also evolve with Li Xiao's growth. Lin Yin, the most experienced one, had never been out of the bone forest and was not very familiar with the specialties of other regions. This situation was not only encountered by Li Xiao and his group. In fact, most of the other warriors who wanted to buy things had the same feeling. No one knew what the things the blood demons took out were used for, and the prices were generally not cheap. How to buy this? You've come all the way here, don't you have any good stuff? At this moment, a powerful spiritual thought spread out, like a roar resounding throughout the space. Bring out the real treasures. Don't worry that we don't have money, we're just worried that you don't have good stuff. Li Xiao looked in the direction where the voice came from, and saw a huge skeleton warrior with an extremely large body, definitely over 3 meters tall, standing at the entrance of the bunker. The guy's bones were shining like black iron, and he was wearing 2 layers of black iron armor. There were 4 arms on his sturdy body, all covered with armor. He was carrying a huge black mace on his back, and the powerful pressure from his body was overwhelming, forcing the surrounding warriors to avoid him involuntarily. Speaking of the third-level warriors, the strength gap between each other is very large. After all, with true wisdom, different talents, opportunities, personalities, etc. become the main factors of strength differences. The top generals were called great generals, who had reached the pinnacle of the 3rd rank, and the next level was lords. Below the great generals, they could be roughly divided into 3 stages: high rank, middle rank, and low rank. This 4-armed warrior is naturally a true high-level warrior. These are the real elites among the warriors. Judging from the aura of this 4-armed warrior, he is obviously much stronger than other ordinary warriors. There was silence in the bunker, and then a figure walked out. It was a demon with dark red skin, a triangular head, and 2 wings on his back. He looked very much like a demon in Western mythology. Blood demon warrior. I'll see who dares to be arrogant. This was also a high-ranking warrior, also over 3 meters tall, and with muscles all over his body. He looked even stronger than the 4-armed warrior. Of course there are good things. Don't worry, we will auction them off in a little while. The highest bidder will win. Then why waste time? You outsiders have so many junk on display, but no one comes out to explain it to everyone. What's the point? How can you act like a business? The 4-armed warrior sneered, why are you hiding the good stuff? Just take it out. Are you afraid that we don't have it? Before it could finish its words, the demon warrior at the entrance of the bunker suddenly paused, and turned into a blood-red light that pierced through the void and directly pierced through its body. The four-armed general was caught off guard and was hit by the demon general. The iron-boned magical powers that he had cultivated to an extremely high level had no defensive power at all, and he was smashed to pieces in an instant. The blood-red beam rushed forward quickly and retreated quickly. Soon, it returned to the entrance of the bunker and transformed into the huge dark red demon prototype. His mind was surprisingly calm. Wait, after saying that, it turned around and went back into the bunker. The attack of the blood-red demon warrior was truly stunning. It instantly killed a high-level warrior. It was so quick and clean that others couldn't even see how it refined the opponent's undead essence. This kind of strength, this kind of fighting power, this kind of grace, really shocked everyone. Many low-level warriors couldn't help but feel a little trembling. They can't hold on any longer. The weaker they are on the inside, the stronger they appear on the outside. Killing a high-ranking warrior with such force. This is absolutely irrational behavior. Lin Yin approached Li Xiao from behind, breathing sweetly. Should we get involved? How to get involved? Li Xiao became more interested. He is just driving a tiger to devour a wolf. The four-armed warrior was General Tiegu's right-hand man and pillar of support. Now that he has been killed, General Tiegu must be furious. It's just that he can't figure out the fighting power of this group of blood demons, so he is cautious. And this group of blood demons are like frightened birds because of the death of their clan's general. That's why they act so violently and without regard for the consequences. Lin Yin chuckled and told the story. We must find a way to tell them that the blood demon clan is actually strong on the outside but weak on the inside, just trying to keep up appearances. Naturally, there will be generals who will not be able to resist probing. Once they do, the blood demon clan will be exposed. At that time, given the temperament of the other generals, they will definitely rush forward to rob the treasure of the blood demon clan. Once the situation becomes chaotic, it will be easier for us to take advantage of the situation and do anything. Li Xiao's eyes lit up and he nodded. Okay, how should we cooperate with you? Don't worry, it's just a small matter, very simple. Lin Yin chuckled. Lin Yin, the Lord doesn't need to worry about many small things. The atmosphere was a bit depressing. Witnessing a high-ranking general being killed instantly did bring a sense of psychological pressure to the surrounding generals. In this world where strength is everything, such behavior is tantamount to demonstrating the strength and inviolability of this foreign force. Of course, they seemed to realize that the warriors in the Bone Forest did not recognize the goods they brought. Finally, two blood demons with bird heads, human bodies, wings on their backs, and blood-red bodies came out and began to introduce the functions of the goods to everyone one by one. Li Xiao took a serious look at the two people and felt something was strange. Before reaching the fourth stage, the blood demons actually have no distinction between male and female. They are essentially a ball of blood that has become spirit and can transform into any form. Under normal circumstances, every member of the blood demon tribe has two forms, one is the combat form, and the other is the social form. The dark red demon just now was obviously in combat form, with wings, claws, and a strong body, and was most capable of destructive power. However, the two blood demons with bird heads and human bodies were in social form. It's no wonder that after someone started introducing them, many generals realized that the blood demon clan did have a lot of good stuff for sale. For example, something that looks like a ball of sticky glue is actually a strange liquid metal. As long as the magic power is activated in a specific way, it can be turned into an extremely sharp weapon. For example, a stone full of holes is a spiritual weapon. When magic power is poured into it, it can emit a sharp whistle, disrupting the enemy's will. For example, the dried blood clots were the blood essence produced in the boundless blood pool, which could help people reshape their bodies. If the blood essence was refined into the bodies of skeleton soldiers, they could be given flesh and blood. But the last thing, in fact, many generals have no interest in it. The skeleton creatures in the Sea of Bones are used to the skeleton body, which has no weaknesses. As long as the undead essence is not destroyed, even if the head, hands and feet are cut off, they can recover. Having a physical body is actually troublesome. Moreover, this blood essence is really not cheap, 20,000 undead source crystals for one, no bargaining. Li Xiao's heart moved, and he looked at his group of forbidden cavalrymen, and was a little tempted. If there is no special opportunity, the Forbidden Cavalry will have to evolve to the 4th level before they can have a physical body. This is indeed quite worrying. But with this blood essence, it seems that I can experience it in advance. Buy a few for number 8 and the others. Yan Shuijin curled her lips, otherwise you will be worried to death, right? One piece is enough. This thing can't increase combat power, and I don't know how effective it is. I'll just buy one piece to try. Li Xiao smiled cheekily, and it's quite expensive. If the Lord wants number 8 and the others to serve in advance, I can use dragon blood to shape their bodies. Number 1 said softly. No, there's only so much of the divine dragon's blood, I can't let you consume too much. Besides, am I that impatient? Li Xiao argued, I just want to get a piece to see the effect of the blood essence. They will be mine sooner or later anyway, so I'm not in a hurry. Yan Shuijin rolled her eyes at him. He spent 20,000 yuan to buy a piece of blood essence, and number 8 took it into the Xuanwang's face to refine and shape the body to see what the effect was. A moment later, Yan Shuijin bought another piece of liquid metal. She was very interested in this thing with strange properties. The liquid metal is not cheap either, costing 18,000, which is much more expensive than a normal sword. Of the huge sum of 350,000 yuan, there is less than 310,000 yuan left now, and no one wants to buy anything anymore. Obviously, everyone knows that Li Xiao needs to keep 300,000 yuan. After the 2 bird-headed men of the Blood Demon clan gave their enthusiastic explanations, many warriors became interested and the scene finally became lively. Among the Blood Demon's goods, the best-selling items are storage instruments. These items are hard to find in the Bone Forest. The generals bought them and used them as armories, specifically to load weapons, armor and other supplies for their armies. Li Xiao was a little surprised that a storage device with a storage space of about 10 cubic meters could be sold at a high price of 150,000. 150,000 undead source crystals can already create a skeleton army of 100,000 troops. Just as the atmosphere at the Blood Demon clan stall was gradually getting heated up, 3 more Blood Demon clan members with bird heads and human bodies came out carrying 3 plates. It seems that the auction mentioned by the Dark Red Demon is about to begin. These 3 things must be the best of the Blood Demon clan's goods. Li Xiao was stunned for a moment. He was so stunned that he couldn't help rubbing his eyes, wondering if he had seen it wrong. Because in his deep red vision, that brilliant golden beam of light also came out from the bunker at this moment. It was the one on the left among the 300 plates. Realizing this, Li Xiao was really stunned. What the hell is going on? Are these people from the Blood Demon clan selling their princess as merchandise? The plate was covered with a red curtain, which gave it a sense of mystery and made it look like an auction. However, the shape of the curtain can still be roughly seen. The one on the far left, which emits brilliant golden light in Li Xiao's vision, looks like a box half a person's height. The one in the middle looks like a basin, and the one on the right looks like a tripod. Everyone, today we, the Blood Demon Caravan, are here to trade and exchange what we have. Of course, we have to show some sincerity. The 3 items here are all the treasures in the team. A blood demon with a bird's head and a human body clapped his hands as if it was the real deal, attracting the attention of many skeleton warriors. Then he waved his hand, activated his magic power, and lifted the curtain at the same time. An ancient brass tripod, a dark red rusty iron basin, and a cage half a person's height appeared in front of everyone. Obviously, they didn't actually want to maintain any sense of mystery, and they were covered with cloth just to attract everyone's attention. Everyone, these 3 are the 3 magical weapons in our caravan. They are the extremely powerful underworld weapons of the Blood Demon clan. The Blood Demons with bird heads and human bodies were promoting the idea. The Blood Soul Cauldron, which is capable of both offense and defense, can condense infinite blood energy, and even the Blood Basin, which can condense blood essence, and the Screaming Golem, which can destroy a person's soul. The starting bid is 100,000. Each reserve price is 100,000. Everyone can bid. The highest bidder wins. Li Xiao's eyes were throbbing. Of course, he had no intention of looking at the cauldrons or pots. All his attention was on the last, Screaming Golem. He saw clearly that the brilliant golden beam of light, reflecting the light of the mythical being Pale Nether Phoenix, was indeed emanating from that thing. It's a sculpture. The main body is a twisted hill that looks like countless bird creatures piled up. A white line appears from the body of each bird creature, converging into a thorn bush covered with spikes and blades. Inside the thorn bush, there was a little white bird, its body torn to pieces by the thorns, lying motionless. The bird was covered in wounds and had no life in it. It had already become a corpse. One could even see that the dark red blood on its body had dried up. But that brilliant and dazzling golden beam of light, and the gorgeous phoenix burning with pale flames in the crimson vision, showed that this thing was indeed a living creature with mythical evolutionary potential. Not quite, but the style of the underworld painting won't pass the review, so I'll just use it as a reference. Isn't this thing the little princess of the blood demon bird royal family? Li Xiao couldn't help but ask number one in the Forbidden Connection network. Sometimes the memory sharing during the dual cultivation would produce some data errors. Moreover, Li Xiao couldn't help but do a lot of tricks during the dual cultivation, and number one was also obedient and agreed to everything he said. This may lead to some cognitive bias in the process of memory sharing. Li Xiao now feels that this sculpture does not look like an exiled princess in any way. No, this is a magical weapon that has been passed down for a long time in the blood demon bird royal family. The exiled little princess hasn't come out yet. Number one was stunned for a moment, then asked, "What's wrong?" "I always thought that the little princess had the potential to evolve into a divine item, but in the end, it turned out to be a magical item like this. Can this evolve into a divine item? But the phoenix is clearly alive." Li Xiao was a little confused. "We'll talk about it after we get it." Number one responded softly, "Whatever it is, we'll study it carefully after we get it." The blood demon servant with a bird's head and a human body has roughly introduced the characteristics of the three magic weapons, but the enthusiasm of the many generals present is not very high. Firstly, the base price of this thing is indeed not cheap. It costs a minimum of 100,000 undead source crystals, which means an army of 100,000 second-level warriors, which is definitely not a small number. On the other hand, the undead of the skeleton clan actually don't like to use any magical weapons. Skeleton warriors who have cultivated to the third level like to add various metals or natural treasures to their bones to strengthen their bones. Most of them like to take the path of body training. The skeleton mage and the lich do not need magic weapons, but special magic weapons that can enhance their spell abilities, such as the colorful crystal skull worth 200,000. The price is over 100,000, which is too expensive for low and mid-level generals. If high-level and top generals want to buy this thing, they must consider one question: is it worth it? How much effect can a magic weapon have on increasing one's combat power? Can it be comparable to an army of 100,000? You know, when you reach the level of high-level and top-level generals, you must consider the issue of the troops under your command and the territory you occupy. Because to be promoted to the fourth level, you must have enough luck. What is luck? Luck is soldiers. The more soldiers you have and the larger your territory, the more luck you will have. Moreover, the magic weapon of the Blood Demon clan can only exert its greatest power when used by the Blood Demon clan members. How powerful will it be when used by the warriors of the Skeleton clan? All these needed to be taken into consideration, so the Blood Demon with a bird head and a human body shouted twice with all his might, but no one started hawking, and the atmosphere became quiet for a moment. "That magic weapon costs 110,000. I want it. That magic weapon costs 130,000. I want it." At this moment, two voices sounded at the same time. One was from Li Xiao, and the other was from a third-level lich. Li Xiao's finger and the lich's cloak pointed at the screaming golem weapon at the same time. Li Xiao frowned and glanced at the lich. In the crimson vision, there was a purple light around the guy, and he was a lich with the potential for fourth-level evolution. Li Xiao only raised the price by 10,000, but that guy directly raised the price by 30,000. Did he see something? Looking at the black chain-like marks on the guy's cloak, Li Xiao shook his head and shouted, "I'll pay 140,000. 170,000. The lich did not hesitate for a moment. 180,000. Li Xiao's face darkened. 210,000. The lich still did not hesitate at all. Li Xiao shook his head, quietly opened the Xuanwang space, and took in all the forbidden guards except No. 1, Yan Shuijin, and Lin Yin, including Yao Yao. 220,000. Li Xiao's expression was calm. 25. Before the lich finished speaking, number 1 had already touched the dragon-shaped longbow in his hand with incredible swiftness. No one could see how she drew the bow, but a red thunderbolt suddenly pierced through the void, struck the lich, and suddenly exploded. Then, it turned into a ball of blazing red dragon flame, burning it clean. A wisp of undead origin transformed into hundreds of undead source crystals and was pulled by no one. A shadow emerged from under their feet, and Li Xiao and the three women disappeared in an instant. When they reappeared, they had already come to the side of the screaming golem, and with a wave of their hands, they activated the Xuanglong space and took the thing in. 220,000. I bought it. I will kill anyone who tries to fight me. Li Xiao's face was calm, with one hand placed across his chest, slightly forming a claw shape, ready to release the Great Void Extinction technique at any moment. Yan Shuijin, number 1 and Lin Yin were with him. Lin Yin was still a little dazed. She was also planning to use the technique of driving the tiger to devour the wolf to provoke internal fighting between the Blood Demon clan and other generals. But since the Lord has made the decision, we must obey it. Li Xiao, this treasure is what I like. The atmosphere on the field froze for a moment. Before the Blood Demon warrior with a bird's head and a human body could react, Li Xiao raised his hand and threw out a bone box. Here is 210,000. The bone box is a storage device, so you'll make a profit if it's worth 10,000. Let's announce the success of the auction. Before the Blood Demon with a bird's head and a human body could say anything, a powerful divine thought suddenly radiated out, resounding through the entire void like thunder. Ha ha ha, what a great gathering of talents. Such a small magic silver city has attracted so many heroes. It really makes people feel glorious. Under the impact of powerful mental power, a tall figure walked over from a distance. It was a giant skeleton warrior that was 6 meters tall. Its bones had completely turned into the same color as black iron, and had a luster similar to that of metal. It was wearing 2 layers of thick iron armor, and the armor was covered with strange symbols. It was obviously not an ordinary iron armor, but a protective magic weapon engraved with spells. Both layers of iron armor are underworld artifacts. The 6-meter-tall giant skeleton warrior looks like a giant from ancient times. Just looking at him gives people a strong sense of oppression. The giant was carrying a dark silver weapon on his back, a huge silver mace that was over 4 meters long. There were also black runes imprinted on the silver mace. That's Tiegu, also known as General Tishan, the strongest of the 7 generals in this city. Lin Yin said softly. Li Xiao frowned. He had heard Lin Yin introduce the information of the 7 generals, but after seeing it with his own eyes, he felt that he had underestimated it. The iron-boned general is fundamentally different from other skeletons. His huge skeleton is not automatically formed by the laws of the underworld, but is natural. That's right, it was a giant when it was alive. After its death, its body fell into the underworld. Its bones were nourished by the breath of the underworld and it actually gained intelligence. This guy's black iron bones are harder than real fine iron. With the blessing of magic power, he is even more powerful. He has never been defeated in battles with other generals. Where are the other generals? Are they far away? Li Xiao asked softly. They should all be nearby. Today, the generals from other places will hold a big market. The other people will not miss such a big event. Well, except for Solok, that guy stays in his lair every day and never goes out. Find a way to lure those generals over here, I'll use my ultimate move to capture them all in one fell swoop. Li Xiao warned. Lin Yin nodded silently. Skeleton General. I can't draw the shape of the iron bones. Please give me some ideas. The huge iron-boned general was walking towards them from afar, and all the generals along the way made way for him. It was truly magnificent, as if a mountain of iron was moving towards them. Your Excellency seems quite impressive, but I wonder where you came from. Another cold voice came from all directions, making it hard to tell where it came from. Li Xiao was stunned for a moment, and Tiegu was also obviously stunned for a moment. You don't know where I come from. Tiegu sneered, his mind shaking the sky. Where are you from? Li Xiao's lips trembled. He just thought that the voice coming from all directions was asking him a question, but he didn't expect Tiegu to answer it. In other words, in addition to the Blood Demon clan, the 7 great generals and him, there is another force. We are doing business here. If you want to buy, just pay. If you don't want to buy, please don't bother us here. Another divine thought was transmitted, and the source of this divine thought was very clear and unmistakable. It came from the bunker. The general of the Blood Demon clan spoke. You guys are really good at pretending. There are only 3 generals in total. Now 1 is dead, and there are only 2 left. What, do you still think you can protect the bloodline of the Blood Demon Bird King? The divine thoughts coming from all directions sneered. When this divine voice came out, the void suddenly choked. The Iron General looked towards the entrance of the bunker, and the number one beside Li Xiao also looked towards the entrance of the bunker. Li Xiao was suddenly moved and looked towards the entrance of the bunker at the same time. It looked as if he was shocked by the news. You may not know this yet, but this group of little blood demons came from the extinct blood demon bird royal family. They were carrying many of the blood demon bird royal family's treasures, and they were only protected by 2 generals. The divine voice from all directions laughed. At the end of the road, it's a good opportunity to take advantage of the situation. The void was silent again, and the air suddenly became heavy, as if something heavy had quietly covered the air. There is something that is constantly tense. Oh, from a fallen royal family. With royal treasures. Another figure came from a distance. It was a skeleton wizard holding a purple staff in his hand. On the top of the staff was a teardrop that flashed from time to time. One of the 7 generals of Magic Silver City, General Molay, a general-level mage. It walked to the other direction corresponding to Taiji Yu, and sent a telepathic message with a smile. If our friends from the Blood Demon clan really have royal treasures, why don't you take them out and let us see them? People from small places like us really don't know what royal treasures are like. I want to see it, too. A cluster of blue will-o'-the-wisp fire suddenly appeared in the void, and then gradually transformed into a wizard at the level of a general. It was none other than the Ghost Flame General, one of the 7 generals. Now, 3 of the 7 demon silver generals have appeared, enough to gain an advantage over the 2 generals of the Blood Demon clan. The atmosphere became increasingly tense. It was obvious that the voice that came from an unknown direction had successfully provoked a conflict between General Magic Silver and General Blood Demon with a simple message. The bunker was silent for several minutes, and then a divine thought came to Li Xiao. Do you want to get involved too? I'll sell you the Screaming Golem for 220,000. If you have nothing else to do, leave now. This is going to clear the area. Li Xiao was stunned for a moment. To be honest, he was planning to use the Great Void Extinction technique, but he didn't expect that Lin Yin's strange sound transmission technique would actually cause a confrontation between the 2 sides. Obviously, the Blood Demon clan general sensed that number 1 beside Li Xiao also had the strength of a general and did not want to face more enemies. The Blood Demon bird royal family really can't withstand any more hardships. I'm here to buy something, not to get involved in your business. The Screaming Golem was already firmly in his hands and was placed in the Xuanwang space. Seeing that he seemed to have a chance to escape, Li Xiao was naturally willing to leave. The Great Void Extinction technique is indeed fun to use, but the strong feeling of exhaustion after using it is really unbearable, and it is not certain whether it can work on the general. So, Li Xiao really planned to slip away. If you want, I'll sell you the other 2 magic weapons at the lowest price. The general in the bunker remained calm. I want it, but I have no money. Li Xiao shook his head and waved his hand. Let's go. I won't get involved in your affairs. After saying that, just as he was about to let the number 2 driver shadow jump away, something strange happened. Suddenly, a red figure rushed out of the bunker and came in front of Li Xiao at an extremely fast speed, revealing a small figure with a bird's head and a human body. It grabbed Li Xiao's arm, and its mind seemed to be filled with tears. Brother, you must be nicer to Xiao Bai. Blood Bird Princess, I'm on stage. Li Xiao was stunned for a moment. His reaction was relatively slow, and number 1 and Yan Shuijin did not stop him because they did not sense any malicious intent. But this incident completely broke the extremely tight line in the void. The atmosphere was already tense to the extreme. The first one came Tiegu. When it saw a red light rushing out from the bunker, it instinctively thought of the scene where a red demon turned into red light and killed the 4-armed general in seconds. It thought that the other party had struck first, so it was naturally shocked and angry. With a roar, he suddenly pulled out the silver mace from his back, and it turned into a ball of blazing silver light and blasted towards him. As soon as it moved, the magic thunder and ghost fire that always followed its lead also took action instantly. The surging ghost fire and exploding magic thunder covered the bunker one after another. The 2 generals in the bunker saw the other side taking action and had no time to rebuke the little princess who suddenly ran out, so they also attacked instinctively in an instant. Amidst the loud explosion, 2 red lights shot up into the sky and transformed into a pair of giant wings covered with blades, which overturned and fell towards the surroundings. The royal family's heritage is extraordinary after all. This magic weapon is obviously much more powerful than the others. Li Xiao felt his scalp tingling, because at this moment, he truly felt the crisis of death. There was no time to think anymore, as surging magic power poured out instantly, covering an area with a diameter of 8.8 kilometers. It covers the very center of the magic silver castle in the entire city. It is currently the most densely populated area in the entire castle, and it may also be the area with the most powerful people. It enveloped at least 5 generals who were attacking with all their might. A barrier spread out, covering Li Xiao, Yan Shuijin, number 1, and the skinny and small blood demon with a bird's head and a human body. Outside the barrier, the entire space was slightly choked. Great Void Extinction Technique. Chapter 71. Hong Ling is the youngest daughter of the Blood Demon Bird King. The Blood Demon clan does not distinguish between males and females before the 3rd stage, but because of the royal blood, Hong Ling has many very strange abilities at a very young age. For example, she had complete intelligence when she was at the 1st level, and from the moment she acquired intelligence, she recognized herself as a female bird. For example, she can see through many hidden truths, and no concealment techniques in the kingdom can hide from her. For example, she can communicate with many seemingly unintelligent and lifeless beings and sense their emotional fluctuations. For example, she has the instinct to seek profit and avoid danger, and this ability almost played a decisive role in her life on the run. She got through countless dangerous situations that would have resulted in her death in some inexplicable way. There is a magic weapon called Screaming Golem in the royal family, which Hong Ling likes very much. She often says that the bird surrounded by thorns can talk, but no one believes her. It is not a very powerful magic weapon. It can only be used by a 3rd level warrior. When it reaches the 4th level, the mental attack ability of the magic weapon is very weak. So the Blood Demon Bird King gave her the magic weapon. Blood Demon Bird, this is what I feel now. Ever since Hong Ling obtained the Screaming Golem, she has been talking to the little bird surrounded by thorns every day, and she calls her Xiaobai. As the kingdom fell and exile began, the spoiled little princess suffered a lot. But Xiaobai always comforted her. Many people think Hong Ling is a fool, even the Blood Demon Bird King thinks so. Throw a magic weapon to her, and she will talk to the magic weapon quietly without making any noise. But Xiaobai didn't think so. He often told Hong Ling that she was not stupid. She was just too smart, so she was too smart and hurt herself. Just like a bird entangled in thorns, every step it takes will leave it covered in wounds. If she had the ability to change her fate and break free from the cage, Hong Ling would surely soar into the sky and look down upon the world. Hong Ling thought that Xiaobai was just trying to comfort her. She didn't really care, but in her heart she really regarded Xiaobai as a friend, and a teacher as well as a friend. Because Xiaobai taught her a lot of things and gave her many more abilities. Exiled to the Bone Forest and arriving at the Magic Silver Castle, Hong Ling was unable to protect his friends. The guards discussed selling some of the useless magical instruments and treasures they carried with them, exchanging the money for building an army of skeletons to deal with the hardships of the future. And he hopes that one day he can help her regain the throne of the Blood Demon Bird Kingdom and return to the top. After all, she is the descendant of the King of Blood Demon Birds and their only hope. Hong Ling certainly didn't want Xiaobai to leave, but Hong Ling was also a very sensible princess. The guards were all well-intentioned and loyal. She couldn't explain how a magical instrument could speak, teach her things, or comfort her. No one believed it when she was very young, and no one believed it now. So when the guards asked the princess to hand over the useless magic weapon and sell it, Hong Ling did it obediently even though she was extremely reluctant. But when she saw Xiaobai was really taken away by the buyer, Hong Ling still felt a pang of pain in her heart. Finally, she couldn't help but run out and whispered, "Brother, you must be nicer to Xiaobai." The buyer was wrapped in bronze armor, but Xiaobai's eyes could see through all disguises and covers since she was a child. She could see that there was a young man inside the armor. Then, out of nowhere, the attack came. Hong Ling suddenly realized that he had seen it wrong. The young man was just a disguise, or a shell-like armor. When a powerful force emerged from his hands, Hong Ling saw the shocking truth contained in that man's body. It was a huge, vast, boundless red figure that seemed to fill the entire world. It wore a golden crown, which was composed of 7 large seals. It seemed to be blooming with endless dark golden lightning. There are 7 halos swirling around it, and within each halo is a graceful and beautiful figure. It stood in the vast and endless heaven and earth, and with a flip of its hands, it seemed that it could cover the endless starry sky and destroy the world. It is so strong, so invincible, so vast, and so ferocious. It carries with it the endless anger and indomitable spirit, destruction and end, barbarity and tyranny that has existed since ancient times. It transcends reality and is an incomparable collection of ideas that represents ultimate chaos and destruction. Its figure was blurry, but it was roughly humanoid. At this moment, there was a layer of faint blue light on its face, like some kind of filter, blocking its vision. Through the blue light curtain, its eyes became rational, gentle, and full of tenderness. Li Xiao, I am ugly, but I am gentle. Hong Ling was filled with a strong feeling of fear, terror, submission and worship. She had a vague feeling that if it weren't for the two blue light curtains, its gaze itself would be a symbol. If she were to be looked at in that way, she would probably be doomed. But blocked by the blue light, its gaze became gentle. The Blood Demon Bird Clan is a branch of the Blood Demon Clan, which is composed of blood. And that huge red figure seemed to use blood as some kind of symbol and sign. It is the final and supreme of all flesh. In an instant, Hong Ling completely surrendered and worshipped the majesty of the ultimate controller of the Blood Order. Perhaps it was because of the experience of performing the Great Void Extinction technique for the first time. This time, Li Xiao did not immediately faint from exhaustion but remained awake for a few seconds. He could feel that when his magic power surged out and enveloped the spherical space with a diameter of 8.8 kilometers, at this moment, everything within this range solidified instantly. Be it matter, skeleton generals, blood demon generals, or giant wings, everything solidified in an instant. Then it collapsed and disintegrated, and was decomposed, shattered, and completely annihilated by an invisible force. Matter was annihilated, forming a quantum cloud, and energy, including the souls of those warriors, including the magical powers they displayed, including the origins of the undead, including those undead source crystals, including everything that appeared within this 8.8 range. They were all pulled by the quantum cloud and gathered into a small crystal the size of a glass marble. Then he passed out. Using the power of Dragon Number 1, she took the crystal in her hand. She knew that this crystal was definitely the most precious treasure among all treasures. Apart from the others, all the undead source crystals present were absorbed and condensed into one. Li Xiao alone took out 200,000, and those destroyed warriors all had money in their hands. Especially the top generals like Tiegu, Mole, Guiyan, and the two blood demon generals, they have huge amounts of money in their hands. The Great Void Extinction spell destroyed everything, even the storage instruments they carried with them were blown up, and all kinds of things inside were pulled and swallowed up by the quantum cloud. It was like a greedy black hole in the universe, swallowing everything. Then, it condensed into that crystal. The Great Void Extinction technique is absolutely worthy of the word, extinction. The destructive power of this move is absolute, and no existence can resist it. Even the generals were no match for him. Even the offensive magical powers displayed by General Mole and General Gui Yan were destroyed and swallowed up. This is truly a terrifying force that makes people's eyes pop out. Number 1 and Yan Shuijin looked at each other and saw real shock in each other's eyes. Lin Yin was completely stunned. This was the first time she truly experienced the true power of this lord. There are still two generals who are not dead. They are outside the range of this move. Go first, don't pay any attention to them. Yan Shuijin glanced around and felt two violent fluctuations of aura at the edge of the castle. She whispered. A sword light enveloped several people and instantly turned into a stream of light and fled into the distance. After the sword light disappeared for more than 10 minutes, two hesitant figures emerged from their nest and approached cautiously. When they saw the standard hemispherical deep pit with a radius of 4.4 kilometers in the center of the magic silver castle, which almost hollowed out the entire underground mineral vein of the magic silver castle, they looked at each other in surprise. Those were the two generals who were the farthest away from the city this time. They were not within the 8.8 kilometers diameter range. They were the last two generals of the magic silver castle, General Poison Wind and General Soul Lock. When Li Xiao's consciousness reappeared on the stone steps in front of the Red Temple, he was surprised to find that there were some changes here. A faint golden line seemed to appear on the tightly closed door of the Red Temple. The lines are very thin, like a spider's silk, but very obvious. I can no longer use the Great Void Extinction technique frequently. A blue and white panel appeared before my eyes, with lines of words appearing. This move essentially draws the power of the Crimson Origin to pry the laws of heaven and earth, which seems to cause the crimson origin to move abnormally. If you want to use it, it is best to use it after a period of time. Otherwise, it will cause the crimson origin to move continuously and may get out of control. Then how often should it be done? Will there be any consequences? Li Xiao asked quickly. I calculated the abnormal movement after you cast it last time. Compared with this time, it will take 27.4 days to completely resolve the agitation of the crimson origin. Try to cast it once a month in the future. The days here are calculated based on the cooldown time of the forbidden summon, that is, 20 hours is counted as one day. Once a month. That's not too bad, not too exaggerated. Li Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. If your power increases, the agitation of this level of deep red origin will be suppressed. Therefore, the higher your cultivation level, the shorter the cooldown period of using this move in the future. Well, when I can fully control the crimson origin, I can use this move without restriction, right? Yes, this move is really effective, it's like a map cannon. I really didn't expect that even a general could be killed so easily. I originally thought that the general could not be killed. Generals are nothing but ants to you. Sure, your level of complimenting people has improved. Li Xiao was immediately happy. How was the harvest this time? I feel that move swallowed up a lot of good things this time. Li Shu, if you praise him, he will be as proud as a child. That's right, all the goods, all the warriors, and all the undead source crystals in the entire market have been devoured. I will send you the properties of that crystal. Void Taboo Crystal, Special. Contains the following characteristics. 1. Possess the origin of death equivalent to 2,855,463 undead source crystals. 2. It possesses the equivalent of 75,322 tons of refined magic silver ore. 3. It has the ability to control blood and purify it into blood essence. 4. Possessing indefinite spiritual powers of blood, chi, and bone-type magical instruments. 5. Possessing unknown characteristics generated by the deflection of the energy spectrum. How much? More than 2.8 million undead origin crystals. Li Xiao was shocked when he saw the first attribute. This thing is equivalent to nearly 3 million yuan. Relatively speaking, this attribute is not the most important. This crystal can be said to have condensed the essence of the entire magic silver castle. The magic silver castle was built on the only magic silver vein in the bone forest. The radius of nearly 5 kilometers is exactly the essence of the magic silver vein, which has been hollowed out and refined into this crystal. In addition, there are several magic tools of the Blood Demon clan that can be considered top grade. Especially the seemingly inconspicuous Blood Basin, which has reached the level of a king-grade magic tool. No matter what, this crystal is extremely precious. By the way, was that multicolored crystal skull also swallowed? Li Xiao suddenly thought of something and was shocked. Yao Yao likes that thing very much. If it is swallowed, then she can't get it. Can she refine this crystal? I am very happy to see your love for them. You are the best with your love. But she is just your servant, and you are the master. This crystal is also very useful to you, but of course it is better for you to refine it yourself. Li Xiao raised her eyebrows and laughed. Sure, are you jealous? Is this jealousy? Ahem, this crystal is so powerful, I'm afraid I can't refine it with my magic power, I still have to use my life. Do you have any good suggestions? Li Xiao avoided the topic. The system girl is indeed becoming more and more human. Let me calculate it carefully. The magic weapon of the Screaming Golem has the potential to evolve into the divine Pale Nether Phoenix, and the little girl Blood Demon Bird has the quantum entanglement state sensing. You should have a good rest. When you wake up, I will show you the computer results. When Li Xiao woke up from his deep sleep, a lot of information suddenly appeared in his mind, which was Li Shu's analysis of the Screaming Golem magic weapon. It was a rare object in the world, essentially a group of pure innate death energy. This group of death energy could condense the resentment, death energy, and unyielding spirit of all the dead bird creatures in the world before they died. After billions of years of nurturing, this resentment fermented and transformed, and eventually gave birth to a strange spiritual intelligence, which is the white bird in the thorn bush. It was formed by the resentment of billions of bird species, but the negative pole gave birth to the positive pole, giving birth to a pure and prosperous innate true fire, which is the pale netherworld fire. This netherworld fire is of a very high status, and its birth is a myth, so it presents the form of the supreme bird, the phoenix. When it grows to its peak, it becomes the pale dark phoenix. However, the pale phoenix was born from the resentment of billions of flying birds, but it was also bound by that resentment. This was a kind of innate causal shackle. If the resentment of billions of birds was not resolved, it would not be able to truly transform into the body of the phoenix. When manifested externally, it is a little white bird in a thorny jungle of resentment. Under normal circumstances, it would take the bird a long time to break free from the shackles of billions of resentments bit by bit before it could soar into the sky, transform into a dark phoenix, be reborn from death, and become a myth. But now that he has met Li Xiao, this wall hanger, everything is possible, as long as he is willing to work hard. In fact, Li Shu and Li Yan, the two system girls, compared and exchanged data and formed a unique plan, that is to refine the void taboo crystal, the screaming golem, the blood demon bird princess and Yao Yao together with the crimson sacrifice. There is a reason for this. The resentment contained in the screaming golem is actually very easy to deal with, because any resentment is just a joke in front of the crimson origin. Once the crimson mist rises, it can swallow up all the resentment. But in this way, the pale dark phoenix could not stand out, because it had to endure the baptism of resentment and rely on itself to break the shackles of resentment before it could truly transform. Just like the saying goes, an egg, if broken from the inside, is life, if broken from the outside, is food. The resentment was swallowed up by the crimson origin. Without the baptism of resentment, the pale underworld phoenix could not withstand the burning of its own underworld fire and would burn itself to death. Its intelligence is still too weak to bear the status of the supreme bird. But if someone shares the burden, it can be born. The soul of the little princess Hong Ling of the blood demon bird and the soul of the pale dark phoenix are naturally quantum entangled, and the degree of compatibility at the soul level is very high. And when Yao Yao is added to the mix, it is the system girl's pure selfishness towards Li Xiao. Yao Yao is protected by the taboo mark and is Li Xiao's taboo slave. If they go together to bear the backlash of the pale nether phoenix's nether fire, they can draw the excess nether fire origin into Li Xiao's crimson origin, thus ensuring 100% safety. No matter how severe the backlash of the nether fire is, it is just a drizzle for the crimson origin. Moreover, it can allow Li Xiao to obtain the greatest benefit of the nether phoenix status. To put it simply, the origin of the pale dark phoenix will be shared by the dark phoenix, Hong Ling and Yao Yao. Whatever the three cannot share will be left to Li Xiao. How much of the mythical realm can they share with their three soul realms? Most of it should be given to Li Xiao. This can also be regarded as a kind of protection for them. After all, in the system lady's heart, Li Xiao was still the priority, allowing him to quietly gain the greatest benefit. Li Yan, locked by love. This time the time it takes to wake up from sleep is shorter than the last time, because the forbidden summoning only accumulated twice, while the last time it accumulated 3 times. When he opened his eyes, he saw Yan Shuijin and number 1 standing on his left and right, their long eyelashes and hair forming infinitely gentle curves. Li Xiao rolled the two girls' long hair into a ball, forming a black and red hair bunion on her face, and took a deep sniff of the completely different yet incomparably fragrant scent. Such an infatuated look made the two girls laugh softly. Yan Shuijin couldn't help but said, "Don't use that trick casually anymore. He faints all the time, which is really worrying. Use it once a month later." Li Xiao said softly, "It really can't be used casually." After a while of tenderness, Li Xiao returned to the Xuanwang space and saw the little girl with a bird's head and a human body at a glance. In addition, there was another beautiful figure in the space. She was a graceful woman, wearing a black lotus-like battle armor, with a slender and tall figure, and possessing the graceful and charming temperament unique to Oriental women. Seeing Li Xiao looking at her, she smiled, bowed, and her armor bloomed like a flower. Number 8. Li Xiao's eyes widened, and he felt the whiteness in front of him dazzle. He couldn't help but exclaim in admiration, "Oh my god, the effect of the blood essence is so good." Not only the blood essence, this netherworld black lotus also contains activity, it just looks like a fossil. Number 8 replied softly. Li Xiao thought of the black lotus-like stone that number 8 had spent 3,000 to buy, and couldn't help but marvel at it. It can only be said that the forbidden guards do have different talents. "Master." Number 8 raised his head and looked at him with tenderness. Li Xiao's heart moved. "No, 8 Black Lotus Enchantress. As long as you want it, as long as I have it, I will give it to you." After a moment, Li Xiao looked at the little girl with a bird's head and a human body. The blood demon bird princess was skinny, weak, and looked seriously ill. Her cultivation seemed to have reached the 3rd level, but she did not have the majestic aura of an ordinary 3rd level warrior. It feels like malnutrition. After opening the Crimson Vision, Li Xiao was even more speechless. Her evolutionary potential was actually blue level 3. In other words, the pinnacle of evolution for this little princess who was held in high hopes by the last power of the Blood Demon Bird Kingdom was level 3. Not to mention becoming a king in the future, she can't even become a 4th level lord. Will the descendants of the royal family be so despicable? The little princess sensed that this blood energy-based final being was examining her, and she stood there trembling with fear. Then her legs went weak, and she fell to her knees with a plop. His evolutionary potential is not high, not even as good as that of an ordinary forbidden guard. He is also so timid. It is really difficult for those blood demon bird guards. Li Xiao sighed, and his mind spread out very gently. Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. Stand up, don't kneel. The little princess nodded subconsciously and tried to stand up, but her legs were shaking slightly. The red bird was obviously panicked. Yao Yao walked over and gently supported her. This girl reminded her of herself. When she first met this master, she was also panicked and felt terrified and confused about the future. Do you have a name? Li Xiao asked softly after taking a long breath. Hong Ling. The blood demon bird princess's telepathic communication was also very soft, as if it could be blown away by a gust of wind. Hong Ling, I want to make one thing clear to you. I didn't want to kill your guards. Li Xiao sighed. I paid for the sculpture and was planning to leave. But their generals attacked at the same time. If I didn't use my magical powers, I would be beaten to death by them. So, will you hate me? Hong Ling doesn't dare. The little red bird knelt down again in fear. Just sit there and do whatever is comfortable for you. Li Xiao said softly, I just want to make it clear that I really didn't mean to kill your men on purpose. I didn't expect that move to be so powerful. I don't like bullying those who are weaker than me. You may think I am hypocritical or conceited, but I also know a little about the suffering you have endured. I was just, never mind, there is no point in explaining too much. It is because of me that you have become lonely and helpless. Li Xiao shook his head and said softly, since you came and caught me when I released that magical power, it is fate. If you follow me, I will definitely guarantee you a safe and stable life and will no longer let you suffer. Are you willing to believe me? The little girl with a bird's head and a human body burst into tears. Hong Ling is willing to follow the Lord. That's good. When number 8 fell asleep, Li Xiao, full of energy, came to Hong Ling and released a forbidden mark to transform her into a forbidden slave. Then, he held Yao Yao and Hong Ling in one hand, held the screaming golem in the other hand, and also held the void forbidden crystal in his hand. Start Crimson Sacrifice. It is actually not certain how much lifespan will be consumed this time, because it is not certain how strong the mythical origin of the pale dark phoenix is, how much can be absorbed by Yao Yao and Hong Ling, and how much can be absorbed by Li Xiao. However, this time, the system mother intends to use the extra mythical origin of the pale dark wind to increase Li Xiao's cultivation and advance him to the 2nd level. Moreover, the energy of nearly 3 million undead source crystals contained in the void taboo crystal can also be used as part of the energy. The consumed lifespan only serves as an initiator, so it won't be too much. The crimson mist surged in, covering the figures of several people. After a moment, the void taboo crystal shook violently, turning into a mighty force that surged out. Then, the lines of resentment emanating from the countless bird corpses in the screaming golem instantly dissolved. In the darkness, there seemed to be a high-pitched phoenix cry rising into the sky. Then, a pale flame that covered the sky and the earth surged up, as if it was going to burn the heaven and the earth. However, no matter how violent the pale flame was, it could not break through the blockade of the crimson mist. The mist was surging, wrapping the pale flame tightly, and merged with the power released by the void taboo crystal, rushing into the bodies of Li Xiao, Yao Yao, and Hong Ling who were holding hands. The red mist boiled, and then, as if affected by the pale flame, it turned into a blood-red flame and burned fiercely on the 3 people. Phoenix origin. I was finally made into a wife by this guy. Li Xiao's body was filled with a powerful force, and he felt a burning sensation all over. He subconsciously stretched out his arms and hugged Yao Yao and Hong Ling tightly. It must be said that the power of Kang Bai Mingfeng's personality was indeed strong. Even though most of its power was blocked by the power of the crimson origin, the remaining heat made Li Xiao feel as if he was about to be burned. Lord, will we be burned to death? Hong Ling's telepathic voice began to tremble. No, the Lord is protecting us. With a long sigh, the flame condensed into a beautiful figure, stretched out its arms, and hugged me. Don't be afraid, Xiao Hongling. The Lord is protecting us. Sister Xiao Bai. Hong Ling's eyes widened in surprise. Li Xiao's panel constantly refreshed with streams of information. Use Crimson Sacrifice, consuming 196 years of life. Infused with the power of the Dark Phoenix origin, your attributes have been completed. Strength plus 30, Spirit plus 16, Constitution plus 27. Your basic attributes have reached the peak of the first level. You have triggered the second level advanced task. Task 1. The total number of taboo guards reaches 100, and more than 50 guards have a bond with you completed. Task 2. Forge a magical tool that can suppress your luck as the foundation of your life completed. Task 3. Obtain the highest admiration index of at least 3 forbidden guards currently reached the highest admiration level, 160 completed. Task 4. Obtain a high-quality void crystal completed. Professional advancement conditions are met, you have advanced. Strength plus 15, Constitution plus 15, Spirit plus 20. Lifespan plus 6,000 years. Gained professional advancement expertise, Forbidden Blood Wings. You have supreme control over the blood energy system. All blood energy system attacks will be absorbed by your blood wings and 100% rebounded to others. The blood wings can also refine the absorbed blood energy into blood essence. The longer the conversion time, the higher the quality of the blood essence produced. Your Forbidden Master Level 1 has been promoted to Forbidden Master Level 2. Gain advanced magical power, Blood Flame of Destruction. Your blood can be transformed into blood flames, and any type of attack or damage you receive can be recorded by Blood Flame of Destruction. Using Blood Flame of Destruction to cleanse your body can enhance your resistance to the corresponding damage. Li Xiao. I have advanced, I have become stronger again. The extremely powerful force surged in his body, causing Li Xiao to roar to the sky. Too strong, really too strong. The difference between before and after the advancement is like heaven and earth. Li Xiao felt like he had achieved a complete ascension. This time he really picked up a treasure, because more than 80% of the power of the Dark Phoenix's origin became his nourishment. This time is different from the time of refining the Nether Dragon Ball, completely different. The Nether Dragon Ball is a true myth of the death system. Its Dragon Ball contains endless death energy. Li Xiao has no way to refine it directly, because he is a living person after all. If he refines the Nether Dragon Ball himself, I am afraid that no matter how much life he has, it will not be enough. It can only be refined by number 1, and 100% of the power is given to No. 1. Although the origin of the Dark Phoenix was still condensed from endless dead energy, it had undergone changes similar to the generation of Yang from Yin. The mythological status of that wisp of pale true fire is only 20% dead energy, and the other 80% is actually the purest and most Yang original power that contains infinite vitality. Can be refined by Li Xiao. Of course, he was not polite. He gave 20% of the death energy to Yao Yao and Hongling, and of course, he refined 80% of the vitality and pure Yang fire himself. The mythical level power of the Dark Phoenix entered his body, but at his current level, he was only able to refine a small part of it. Just this small part brought him a massive improvement in attributes, directly bringing him to the peak of the second level. In addition, most of the power was subtly changing his body and enhancing his strength. Expanding the panel again, Li Xiao's attributes have really made a qualitative leap. Real name, Li Xiao confirmed. Occupation, Forbidden Overlord Level 2. Lifespan, 6,289 years. Strength, 75. Spirit, 80. Constitution, 75. Taboo Magic, 24,024 5 Elements Resistance, 50%. Soul Talent, Crimson Origin, Crimson Sacrifice. Talent and Expertise, Crimson Vision. Professional Expertise, Forbidden Brand, Forbidden Summoning, Forbidden Demonic Body, Forbidden Connection, Forbidden Demonic Knife. Forbidden Secret Language. Advanced Expertise, Forbidden Dragon Might, Forbidden Blood Wings. Advanced Magical Power, Great Void Extinction Technique, Blood Flame of Destruction. Magic Power, Taiyuan Samsara Sword, 7%. Transformation Progress, Goddess of the Dark Moon 1%, Angel of Dark Light 1%, Monument of the Dark World 1%. Moon Goddess. It seems that if I come out, there will be people waiting. But it doesn't matter, someone must be more anxious than me anyway. The magic power value soared to 24,000 points. At the first level, the ratio of spirit points to magic points for normal undead soldiers is 1 to 10. Li Xiao's ratio is 1 to 100. After evolving to the second stage, the conversion coefficient between spirit points and proportional points of ordinary undead soldiers increased threefold, becoming 1 to 30. And Li Xiao's ratio has become 1:300, which is 10 times that of the same level. So he has 80 spirit points, which is a full 24,000 magic points. This conversion coefficient even surpassed the real legend number 1. It can only be said that the profession of taboo overlord is really strong, much stronger than the so-called god-level profession. Moreover, the basic points corresponding to each level of ordinary undead soldiers are capped at 20 points. The maximum for non-level soldiers is 10 points. The maximum for level 1 is 20 points. The maximum for level 3 is 60 points. The maximum for level 4 is 80 points. The maximum for level 5 is 100 points. Li Xiao's basic points on the road to advancement are 3 times that of an ordinary undead soldier. The peak of the first level is 60 points, and the peak of the second level is 120 points. Now he has just reached 80 points, which is equivalent to the basic attributes of an ordinary 4th level peak undead soldier. Of course, this does not mean that Li Xiao now has the ability to fight against the top lords. Because after practicing to the 4th level, you must start to gather your luck and smelt the rules of heaven and earth. The bonus of the rules of heaven and earth for practitioners is additional and extremely powerful. As the saying goes, before the 4th stage, cultivation depends on oneself, and after the 4th stage, cultivation depends on God. Li Xiao is still unable to break the rules of heaven and earth, so he naturally cannot defeat a 4th order lord. But now, he can crush ordinary warriors just by relying on basic attributes. This strength is really a leap. Dark Light Angel. My husband has advanced, let's celebrate. Feeling the surging power in his body, Li Xiao's heart moved, and with a swish, a pair of broad wings stretched out from his back. The overall base color of the wings is dark red, but inside there are flowing lights of gold and silver, interweaving into gorgeous patterns, which looks extremely gorgeous. The wings looked like feathers gathered together, but if you looked closely, you could see that each feather was actually a metal blade. The blade had a red spine, a dark gold body, and a dark silver blade, and its edge was extremely sharp. As his mind moved, the wings behind him suddenly spread out and turned into densely packed blades that floated in the air. There were exactly 129,600 of them, which was exactly the number of 1 yuan. With another thought, all the blades gathered together in an instant, forming wings that fluttered slightly. This is an ability that is not detailed on the panel. Forbidden Blood Wings is not only a specialized ability, but also a companion magic weapon. That void forbidden crystal contained more than 70,000 tons of magic silver or essence, which was transformed by the power of the Crimson Sacrifice to form these 129,600 blades, which combined into wings. If the Forbidden Blood Wings absorb blood and transform it into blood essence, they are actually strengthening the 129,600 blades on the wings, making the wings even stronger. Li Xiao really likes this mode, because it is really cool. I have to say that the system girl's aesthetic taste is truly on point. Once the dark red blade wings with gold and silver patterns are spread out, Li Xiao will have a powerful, invincible, gorgeous and noble temperament. When number 8 woke up from his coma, pink hearts seemed to appear in his bright black eyes. Just after Li Xiao finished his evolution, beside him, Yao Yao and Hong Ling, who had absorbed 20% of the Nether Phoenix's death energy, also saw the blazing red and white flames on their bodies slowly disappear. 3 beautiful figures appeared at the spot. That's right, there were 3 figures. In addition to Yao Yao and Hong Ling, the original spiritual wisdom in the Nether Phoenix's origin, the consciousness that Hong Ling called Xiaobai, also became real because of the infusion of the Nether Phoenix's death energy and was refined by the Phoenix fire and reshaped. Li Xiao's eyes lit up. The 3 girls look almost exactly the same. The mythical realm Nether Phoenix status, even if it only has 20% of its original power, is not something that one person can bear. It took the combined efforts of Hong Ling, Yao Yao, and the Nether Phoenix to completely refine and absorb it. The phoenix fire burned fiercely, reshaping the three people from soul to body, turning them into sisters like triplets. Moreover, not only are they similar in appearance, their souls are also extremely compatible, as if they are completely in tune with each other, and they can even combine into an innate formation. 3 panels unfolded in front of Li Xiao one by one. Forbidden Servant. Phoenix Witch Yao Yao Level 3. Spirit. 60. Magic. 9000. Soul Life. No strength and constitution attributes. Talent 1. Great Summoning Technique Phoenix Flame Magic Soldiers. Phoenix Witch can consume very little magic power to summon a large number of low-level Phoenix Flame Magic Soldiers. At least 1 point of magic power is enough to summon 1 magic soldier. Phoenix Flame Magic Soldiers have the same combat power as first-level militia. Talent 2. Death Armor Phoenix Flame Set. Phoenix Witch can gather a full set of equipment including armor, javelins, and javelins for Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers. The Phoenix Flame set has the power of a wisp of Phoenix Flame, which can cause additional fire damage to the target. Talent 3. Phoenix Luck. When the Phoenix Witch casts the summoning spell, there is a chance that she will summon a high-level Phoenix Vassal Soldier. Skill. Phoenix Roar. Phoenix Witch can release a roar that penetrates the soul and launches a mental attack on the target. If the target is a bird creature, there is a chance that it will surrender directly. Expertise. Phoenix Incarnation. Phoenix Witch can attach consciousness to Phoenix Flame Soldier and explore the surroundings. Phoenix Flame Soldier possessed by consciousness has half the combat power of Phoenix Witch. Exploration radius equals magic value limit * 1 meter. Magic power. Phoenix Soul Burial Explosion. Phoenix Witch can detonate the soul essence contained in the Phoenix Flame Demon Soldier, causing it to explode and causing a devastating blow to the enemy. Yao Yao's panel attributes don't seem to have changed much, and her skills are almost the same, but they have all been baptized by the Nether Phoenix's original True Fire, and it is obvious that their power has been improved in all aspects. Yao Yao. I have evolved into a Phoenix Witch. The Lord should be even more reluctant to let me go. Forbidden Servant. Hongluan Blood Method Hongling Level 3. Spirit. 60. Physical. 60. Strength. 60. Vitality. 9000. Talent 1. Hongluan Perception. Hongluan Blood Technique possesses a unique ability of spiritual perception, which can help one seek benefits and avoid danger, and can also see through disguises. Talent 2. Hongluan Domain. Hongluan Blood Method has a unique domain that can control all blood and energy within the domain. Talent 3. Red Luan Star Explosion. Red Luan Blood Technique can condense powerful blood energy to cause an explosion. If the target has blood energy, it will be pulled in and detonated together. Expertise. Hongluan Faith. Hongluan Blood Method has an unparalleled faith in the Forbidden Master, and will evolve faster with the favor of the Forbidden Master. Magic power. Hongluan Heart Language Nirvana Explosion. Hongluan Blood Method can sacrifice everything to self-destruct, causing devastating attacks to targets in a large range around. After the self-destruction, if certain conditions are met, Hongluan Blood Method can activate Hongluan's origin to regenerate. After rebirth, it will become more powerful. Hong Ling, I will cherish your love. Oh my god. Li Xiao looked at Hong Ling's ability panel and felt helpless and speechless. Self-destruction. What kind of a hell of an ability is this? After self-destruction, rebirth becomes stronger. Is this okay? And it doesn't make it clear what the conditions are. Besides, looking at her cute and timid appearance, who would have the heart to let her blow herself up? Forbidden Servant. White Phoenix Fighter by Yan Level 3. Physique. 60. Strength. 60. Spirit. 60. True Chi. 9000. Talent 1. White Phoenix Fighting Chi. White Phoenix fighters have natural fighting abilities, which can continuously evolve in battle, gain higher fighting skills, and can condense their true chi into weapons of various forms, possessing unlimited means of fighting. Talent 2. White Phoenix Immortality. The more serious the injury of the White Phoenix fighter, the stronger the fighting spirit. When attacked with a fatal attack, if certain conditions are met, the White Phoenix fighter can enter a bloodlock state, maintaining the near-death state to stimulate dozens of times the fighting power. Expertise. White Phoenix Fighting Spirit. When the fighting spirit of a White Phoenix fighter reaches its peak, it can form a fighting spirit incarnation, which has the same combat capabilities as the original body. Magic power. White Phoenix Star Transformation. The White Phoenix Fighter and the White Phoenix Fighting Spirit work together to simulate the orbits of the stars in the sky, releasing a finishing move that is as powerful as the collapse of the sky and the crack of the earth to attack. Bai Yan, it's good enough to be able to be resurrected. Haha, these three women who have inherited 20% of the Dark Phoenix's essence together are a combination of a summoner, a mage, and a warrior. This really makes Li Xiao's eyes light up. This wave is really not a loss. Li Xiao opened the Crimson Vision, and the evolutionary potential of the three women was silver, representing the 5th level king product. This is normal, after all, 80% of the Phoenix essence has been refined by Li Xiao. However, in the deep red vision, the three silver light beams seemed to merge after they collided with each other. Finally, they formed a brilliant golden light beam that appeared in front of Li Xiao. Ah, can these three women actually merge together? In fact, they can indeed merge. After the fusion, a new prompt appeared on the panel in the Crimson Vision. Combined talent: Trinity Phoenix Goddess, Phoenix Witch, Red Luan Blood Mage, and White Phoenix Fighter can merge after meeting certain conditions to form a trinity of mythical beings, Phoenix Goddess, who can awaken all the magical powers of the Phoenix clan. Li Xiao's eyes lit up. By the way, what does this, satisfying certain conditions, mean? No one knows yet. Even the system girls Li Yan and Li Shu don't know. They also need to continue to evolve, and they don't know much about the mysterious species like the phoenix. Li Xiao is not in a hurry and just takes it slow. Yao Yao evolved into the Phoenix Witch. Although she was still a soul, after her soul materialized, she was almost indistinguishable from a real woman. In the past, Yao Yao's soul could also materialize, but the materialized body actually had no feelings. It was just purely to please him. After evolving, and being refined by the Phoenix Flame, Yao Yao's soul body now possesses characteristics similar to a real body. Moreover, after the evolution, Li Xiao not only had a stronger physique, but also had stronger combat power in team building. Li Shu had really not lied to him when she said that she would specifically strengthen his ability in this area. It is well known that the phoenix is a creature that can be reborn from the ashes. After Li Xiao was strengthened, he seemed to have gained similar abilities. It seems that with this wave of evolution, he has indeed become stronger, in every sense. Li Xiao, they are all mine. All the goddesses are mine. When Yan Shuijin fell asleep, Li Xiao picked up her cell phone. Since getting the phone, Yan Shuijin and Qin Mengmeng have been chatting happily. A cold and aloof swordsman, she has the potential to become an internet-addicted girl. As soon as Li Xiao picked up the phone, a lavender light lit up on the screen. Qin Mengmeng, Sister Yan, are you still busy? You transfer 86,536 yuan to Qin Mengmeng. Qin Mengmeng, wow, you just transferred the money when we didn't agree. I like you so much, Sister Yan. I will bring you foot washing water in the future. Dakin State Master, I had enough money, but I spent a lot of it after completing the dungeon and evolving. I'll give you the rest first so you can rest assured. When they wake up, we'll go hunting in the wild, and we'll make money quickly. Qin Mengmeng, so it's my husband who's done it. Husband, look at my abdominal muscles. Do you have 2 more after the evolution? Li Xiao took a few selfies and sent them without saying a word. Dakin State Master, if there are more, I will become a monster, right? Do you think my 6-pack abs will look really good if I have 2 more? Qin Mengmeng, that's true. Qin Mengmeng, brother, tell me quietly, which one of them do you like the most? Delete it after you post it, don't let Sister Yan see it. Dakin State Master, I like them all. I am not being perfunctory. Everyone has their own charm, and I love them all the most. Qin Mengmeng, Lin Yin and Lin Guoer. Great Qin State Master, aha. Qin Mengmeng, tisk tisk tisk, brother, you like this? Jianan style. Dakin State Master, don't get me wrong, the Prime Minister and I are not the same kind of people. I like Lin Yin because she doesn't have a husband. If she had a man before, I would have no interest in her at all. Qin Mengmeng, I understand. QCQS, right. Great Qin State Master, that's what I mean. Qin Mengmeng, brother, do you have any unique hobbies? Dakin State Master, I am very normal. I yearn for a beautiful, mutually pleasing relationship. What are your hobbies? Qin Mengmeng, this is. I've seen those tortoise-shell bindings before, and I felt. I was quite curious. Great Qin State Master, I understand. Qin Mengmeng, No, what do you know? I'm not curious myself, I'm curious about others. Dakin State Master. You don't want to tie me up, do you? That's absolutely not possible, I'm a strong attack type. Qin Mengmong. Brother, don't you want to see what Sister Yan and the others are like? And Sister Number 1 and the others? Great Qin State Master. Ah, this. Qin Mengmong. Ha 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 ha, wait until I come out, I'll help you. Dakin State Master. You are not Lace, are you? Qin Mengmong. That's not true. I'm a straight girl, okay. I'm just curious. Sister Yan seems so otherworldly. If, ahem, don't you want to see it? Dakin State Master. I miss you. Qin Mengmong. No problem. Brother, whatever you like, just leave me alive. Dakin State Master. It's not that exaggerated. I'm very normal. Qin Mengmong. Brother, take a few more selfies. I like looking at your face. Dakin State Master. Actually, I wanted to show you my wings. Don't you think they are very handsome? I even took a panoramic photo, but I didn't expect you to only focus on my abdominal muscles and face. Qin Mengmong. Phew, are wings made entirely of blades? Cool. Men's focus is really weird. The Great Qin State Master. It can be sent and received freely, can bend and stretch, and can also be turned into a weapon. Isn't it handsome? Well, as expected, I am destined to make a living by my appearance. I have no future by relying on my strength. Qin Mengmong. Ha ha ha, it would be even cooler if he had another mecha, right? Unfortunately, there shouldn't be such things in the underworld. It is said that men's hobbies are big mechas and big monsters. It seems that the latter is the only option. Dakin State Master. Men actually have 3 hobbies, and the other is beautiful women. Qin Mengmong. Ah, this. Speaking of this, I don't seem to be big enough, I can't even compare to Guor. Brother, will you dislike me? The Great Qin State Master. It doesn't matter. It's cute even if I can't afford it. Qin Mengmong. Then I will eat more papaya and drink more milk in the future. Great Qin State Master. That thing is not very useful, why don't you let me help you? Qin Mengmong. Okay, I'll listen to you from now on, ha 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 ha, I can't take it anymore, I have to go take a shower. Qin Mengmong. Yes, they are all yours. When the number of forbidden summons accumulated 3 times, Li Xiao chose to summon and summoned 60 more forbidden cavalrymen, numbered 181 to 240. Then he spent another 600 undead source crystals to train them to the peak of the 2nd level. After the girls had rested, they began to march towards the magic silver castle. After all, the skeleton soldiers destroyed by the Great Void extermination technique were only those around the big city at that time. They were all personal guards of the generals or a small number of elite soldiers. The combined strength of the troops of all the generals in the magic silver castle exceeds 5 million. It is impossible to place all of these 5 million troops in the castle. Most of them set up barracks outside the castle and conduct daily field training. Li Xiao probably only wiped out more than 200,000 soldiers that time. Of course, the 5 generals, their elite troops, and most of the generals under their command were really wiped out. More than 90% of the 5 million troops were around the castle, and they were leaderless. The 2 generals left in the magic silver castle were definitely unable to control them. Of course Li Xiao would not let go of these troops. This is a huge amount of money. After Li Xiao was promoted to the 2nd level, not only his own strength was improved, in fact, his entire force was improved. The cultivation realms of number 1, 3 to 7 are bound to Li Xiao. If he is promoted to the 2nd level, then they will naturally be promoted to the 2nd level as well. There is no need to mention the 5 elements Dragon Knights. With their combat effectiveness, after reaching the 2nd level and equipped with their Dragon Beast mounts, they can fully possess combat effectiveness comparable to that of high-level generals. When number 1 was at the 1st level, he could kill a general with 3 arrows. Now that he has advanced to the 2nd level, he has gained a large number of expertise and attack skills, and his combat effectiveness is needless to say. The upper limit of the Forbidden Cavalry's level has also been unlocked, from level 2 to level 3. In other words, now all the Forbidden Cavalry can be upgraded to become generals. It just consumes too much. To upgrade the Forbidden Cavalry from level 1 to level 2, 10 undead source crystals are needed. To upgrade from level 2 to level 3, a full 10,000 undead source crystals are needed. This is truly a case of one general's success being built on the bones of thousands of soldiers. You know, for an ordinary second-level soldier to be upgraded to a general, only a few hundred or 1,000 undead source crystals would be enough, provided that it has the potential to evolve to the third level. 220 forbidden cavalrymen, excluding some that have been installed. If you want to upgrade all of them to the third level, you will need 2 million undead source crystals. When Li Xiao thought of this, his scalp tingled. Don't forget that he can summon 20 every day. That is to say, he has to earn 200,000 undead source crystals every day to offset the consumption of the forbidden cavalry. Therefore, we must take action against the skeleton army, otherwise we will not make any money. Taboo female guardian. The Lord wants to see us reach the 4th level as soon as possible, and we want to too. The scene of more than 200 forbidden cavalrymen running at full speed is quite interesting to watch. Needless to say, the dragon knights at the front were extremely powerful. The 30-odd silver dragon mastiff cavalrymen in the middle and the 100-odd skeleton dragon horse cavalrymen in the back all charged forward in unison, giving off a sense of the might of a mighty army. This time, Li Xiao did not sit behind any dragon knight to take advantage of the situation, but rode on the back of Lin Yin, who had restored her true form as a snow dragon mastiff. The huge snow dragon mastiff was covered in scales, with long, slender white hairs flying in the wind in the gaps between the scales, looking quite imposing. Li Xiao was still holding Lin Guo'er in her arms. The girl's long snow-white hair fluttered in the wind, creating a myriad of tender feelings behind her. I destroyed the magic silver castle. Did it have any impact on your luck? Li Xiao hugged Lin Guo'er face to face and patted her back gently, as if coaxing a child to sleep. The magic silver castle no longer belongs to us. The ground energy has been occupied. It doesn't matter. Lin Yin was running very fast. The snow dragon mastiff's strong and graceful body made every muscle move very interesting. She responded with a smile while running. Besides, there's no point in making a fuss in such a small place. It's just a matter of harvesting some resources. I don't quite understand the so-called blessing of luck. You have reached the 4th level before, can you tell me about it? What does it feel like? Li Xiao was very curious. Besides, if you were kicked off the stage, then luck will no longer bless you. How did luck know that you were kicked off the stage? Is it that smart? It's actually very simple to say. The so-called luck is just the attachment of people's hearts. Lin Yin's voice was clear. Even the skeleton soldiers who are not at the 1st level actually have their own thoughts, but their thoughts are too weak. When they reach the level of the 2nd level combat soldier, their consciousness is very clear. The underworld is essentially a wild place. Any skeleton soldier who has a thought will instinctively want to become stronger, want to evolve, and want to have good resources and environment. Whoever can guard a place, whoever can provide a stable environment for them to evolve and become stronger, whoever can lead them to defeat more opponents, their thoughts will naturally attach themselves to that person. When thoughts like these come together, it becomes luck, which can cause the vitality of the underworld to gather around and become a help. This explanation is quite common. Li Xiao's mind moved, and suddenly an idea flashed. Is this the so-called bond? The general needs to gather enough thoughts of the soldiers to be promoted to the Lord. That's right, that's the bond the Lord mentioned. In fact, low-level skeleton soldiers are simple because they have not yet developed their intelligence. They instinctively seek profit and avoid trouble, and they trust whoever is stronger. Lin Yin laughed. On the contrary, the generals have intelligence and complex thoughts, so the bond is not deep and there will be repetitions. So the focus of the gathering of luck is actually the soldiers. It turns out that the core of a general is the soldiers, and the generals are not important. Li Xiao thought thoughtfully. That can't be said. When the number of soldiers reaches a certain level, someone has to lead them. No matter how powerful a general is, he doesn't have the energy to command tens or even millions of soldiers. Lin Yin explained. However, real generals hope that there are as few generals as possible, because no one will fight for power. On the other hand, too few generals will naturally affect the combat effectiveness of the entire army. Everyone is making trade-offs. There are hundreds of battles in one day. The things written in the ancient books really make sense. Li Xiao nodded. The basic principles of the underworld are similar to those of the human world, except that the special environment creates some strange rules. But the Lord is different from everyone else. He is the most special. Lin Yin suddenly laughed. Oh, Li Xiao asked with interest, what's the difference? I also need to form a bond with the Forbidden Guards. I guess the higher the realm, the higher the requirements for the bond will be. The guards summoned by the Lord are all women. They are not only the Lord's subordinates, but also his wives and concubines. Lin Yin's voice was filled with laughter. Beyond the ordinary bond, there is also admiration and respect. This kind of relationship is always more stable than the ordinary relationship between a general and a soldier. This is thanks to the two system girls, Li Shu and Li Yan, especially Li Shu. Li Xiao thought it was a great idea to use love to resolve the ferocity of the Crimson Origin. We should still be nicer to them. Li Xiao muttered to himself. The Lord is good enough. Lin Yin sighed softly. Although the love and affection I have experienced with the Lord these days is only a few days, I feel that the years before this have been wasted. Even if I have to sacrifice my life for the Lord, I am willing to do so. Don't talk nonsense. Why do you want to risk your life at every turn? We need to be together for a long time and stay together forever. Li Xiao shook his head. Lin Guo'er in his arms suddenly responded softly. Lin Guo'er. He really likes me. I know. After number 1 was promoted to the second level, his perception improved by leaps and bounds, and he was even able to see through some so-called destiny veins. Speaking of the profession of the Dark Dragon Archer, the position is a shooter. It is well known that shooters must have excellent eyesight, which makes number 1's perception reach an extremely strong level. Even from hundreds of miles away, she could see some large places where luck gathered. There was no doubt that those were the camping places of the skeleton army. So soon, they arrived at a military camp. This barracks was considered a medium-sized barracks, with a total of nearly 300,000 troops stationed there, half of whom were second-level combat soldiers and half were first-level militia. Obviously, this army still needs training, because a truly qualified army should consist of more than 80% second-level combat soldiers, and 10% to 20% of first-level militiamen will be enough. The army reacted in a timely manner, watching from afar a group of soldiers and horses galloping towards them, with a clear goal and no sign of slowing down. The general stationed in front of the camp immediately activated the divine mind transmission and gathered a full 5,000 elite cavalrymen in heavy armor to meet them. For an attacking team of only 200 people, they were so cautious and treated it as if they were facing a powerful enemy. It was obvious that the army outside the city basically knew about the changes in the Magic Silver Castle in the past few days. Every army was very nervous, and could even be said to be in a state of panic. Go straight ahead. Yao Yao, don't waste your magic power. Go into the camp and summon the Phoenix Flame magic soldiers. Number 1 commanded in an orderly manner in the Forbidden Connection network. Number 3 to number 7, you are the spearhead of the entire army. Don't slow down, just charge forward and disperse this cavalry. Let everyone practice their combat capabilities. The 5 dragon knights all pulled down their visors. The dragon beasts under their mounts, which had advanced to the second level, became more slender, and almost all of them had horns growing on their heads. In the gray-white underworld, neither cavalry slowed down. One with 5,000 men and the other with more than 200 men, they charged at each other fiercely in the most direct way. The fighting power of the dragon knights is absolutely unquestionable. 5 dragon knights are lined up as the vanguard of the entire army, and in the middle is the dark gold dragon knight number 5 with the strongest impact power. The dark golden Hades spear was wrapped with a dark golden air wave, forming a huge light shuttle. The magic power around the light shuttle extended, connecting with the magic power of magic plant dragon knight number 4 and abyss dragon knight number 3 on the left, and connecting with the magic power of hell dragon knight number 6 and blood flame dragon knight number 7 on the right. When the magic powers of the 5 dragon knights were completely connected, the huge light shuttle had already spread and enveloped the entire forbidden cavalry team, hinting at colorful colors. With just one charge, they crushed the 5,000 heavy cavalry on the opposite side like a hot knife through butter. Any cavalryman who collided with this light shuttle would be directly shattered by the huge force, inertia and the light shield formed by the 5 elements of dragon power. Even the leading warrior who wanted to show off his bravery was smashed to pieces by the light shuttle and had no power to resist. Seen from above, the charge array of 5,000 heavy cavalrymen looked like a giant white cake that was cut directly and smoothly by a blade shining with colorful light. After splitting the entire cavalry army into 2 parts, the dragon knights all turned around, circled the battlefield, and charged back again. It was another devastating charge. As the colorful light shuttle continued to extend, gradually, the following forbidden cavalrymen also tried to integrate their own magic power into it, and they were connected together very smoothly. The power of the 5 elements is the basic power between heaven and earth. The 5 elements transform everything, and the 5 elements can also combine everything. Therefore, as long as you master the frequency and strength of magic output, you can easily integrate your own magic into it. This is actually one of the most powerful abilities of the 5 elements Dragon Knights. They can condense the 5 elements formation and combine the strength of all members of the entire army. After the 4th charge, the magic power of all the forbidden cavalrymen merged together. The colors of the 5-element light shuttle gradually merged, and finally turned into a plain gray-white. But its impact, destructive power and lethality are several times stronger. Skeleton soldiers. Let's go, let's go. Why are these women so powerful? After the Forbidden Cavalry Regiment charged the Heavy Cavalry formation from beginning to end for the 6th time, the Heavy Cavalry Regiment finally collapsed completely and could no longer form a formation. Without the cavalry's speed, they could only be slaughtered. Without a complete formation, the leader was also killed. The low-intelligence second-level cavalry fell into a state of confusion and chaos. A pair of dark red blade wings suddenly extended from behind Li Xiao. With a thought, the blade wings suddenly disintegrated and turned into 129,600 blades. Magic power surged, and a large number of blades rushed out, covering the entire battlefield. The next moment, they easily pierced through the heavy bone armor of the cavalrymen, cutting their bodies into pieces. The blade, which is made of the extremely compressed and condensed essence of magic silver ore, is indestructible. However, the magic power consumption is quite terrifying. The move just now consumed a full 2,000 points of magic power. This move is good for group attacks, but I still need to practice the Taiyuan Samsara blade. It's used to deal with strong enemies. Yan Shuijin was wearing a platinum armor, floating beside Li Xiao. Her hair flowed out from the gap of her helmet, looking extremely graceful. I will naturally practice what you taught me. Li Xiao nodded and said seriously, I will definitely not slack off. But when he said this, he couldn't help laughing. But the inferior outer sword technique of your Taiyuan sect is indeed extremely exquisite. It really takes time to study it carefully. Do you have any other simpler sword techniques? Art is about quality, not quantity. Practicing too many sword techniques will be harmful to the development of your sword intent. Yan Shuijin rolled his eyes at him. Yan Shuijin. Humph. If you want to master swordsmanship, you must practice sword intent. It is not good to learn too many things. If you can truly cultivate the sword intent of reincarnation, slaying gods and demons will be a piece of cake. I understand. I must master this sword technique to the fullest. Li Xiao nodded solemnly. The blade was retracted and turned into blood wings, driving Li Xiao's body into the air, level with Yan Shuijin, and then looked at the battlefield. 5,000 heavy cavalry had been destroyed, and this scene was clearly seen by the generals in the barracks. Afterwards, the gates of the barracks burst open, and 10,000 heavy shield soldiers, 10,000 heavy cavalry, 20,000 heavy infantry, and 10,000 archers, a total of 50,000 troops, lined up and came out from dozens of camp gates. The heavy shield soldiers were at the front, forming a shield array of 10. Behind each shield soldier were 2 heavy infantrymen. One of them held a spear with the tip pointing upwards and resting on a shield, with the shaft of the spear sticking to the ground. Another held a long-handled battle axe, forming a dense forest of spears and shields. 10,000 heavy cavalry were divided into 2 columns and arranged on both wings to provide rescue operations. This formation is a standard general-purpose military formation, the so-called crane wing formation, also known as the Yan Yu Zhen, which is a formal military formation that is only formed when 2 large armies are fighting. To put it simply, facing an attacking force of only more than 200 people, the generals in the barracks did not hesitate at all and directly responded with the posture of a large army. If 5,000 people can't defeat you, then use 50,000 people. If 50,000 people are not enough, there are still 100,000 people. Being tired can make you die. If we can't win again, then we will be defeated. There are only a little over 150,000 regular combat soldiers in the barracks. Try it once and see if it works. If it does, continue as before. If not, we'll think of another way. Number 1 gave the order calmly. Li Xiao looked serious. He didn't know how to fight, so he naturally wouldn't take over the command. But he was learning, and was always trying to learn all the knowledge and experience. Yan Shuijin was a dignified earthly immortal in the sword art, and she had no interest in this kind of battlefield where the highest combat power was only at the 3rd level. In her opinion, it was just a fight between noobs and there was nothing interesting to watch. Her attention has always been on Li Xiao. Seeing that he started to become serious, she inexplicably thought of what he said and what he did, and felt a soft touch in her heart. This guy must have realized the mystery of the Taiyuan Samsara sword. Of course, he is not stupid. Can divine martial arts be the same as other martial arts? When I taught him this set of swordsmanship, I didn't think too much about it. I just wanted to repay the favor as much as possible. After all, no one has mastered this set of swordsmanship for thousands of years. If the practice is successful, then the Taiyuan Samsara sword and her Taiyuan Hongmeng sword can be combined into one, and the power will increase dramatically. Seeing that he listened to her advice very seriously, she felt warm inside. Regardless, he really took what she said seriously. After devouring and refining the undead essence of 5,000 heavy cavalrymen, the aura of the forbidden cavalrymen became noticeably stronger. Their evolution was obvious to all, especially number 8. On her graceful body, layers of dark light bloomed like black lotuses, and finally quickly retracted, transforming into a set of black lotus armor again. At this moment, she was actually promoted directly to the 3rd rank general. The skeleton dragon horse under the mount was also affected and began to evolve at the same time. Its physique became twice as strong, and its bone structure became more rigorous and complex. The skeleton dragon horse was also wearing armor, but at this moment, the armor suddenly changed into a structure with several overlapping layers like lotus petals, which obviously enhanced its defense. Moreover, several thick bone claws grew around the dragon horse's hooves, covering the hooves. The horse's leg joints also became several times more complicated, becoming a more flexible structure. This is not over yet. As a layer of dark light swirled upwards, black spiral patterns appeared on the standard magic silver spear in number 8's hand. The spear head turned into a black lotus, and the spear blade protruded from the lotus core like a sword. This weapon is called a lance, and it is more complicated to use than a spear, but also more powerful. The spear made of magic silver secret essence is a real treasure. It is the companion weapon of the forbidden cavalry and will evolve as the forbidden cavalry grows. Now, 8 has clearly struck out on her own. Number 8 Black Lotus Enchantress, for you. The birth of a new warrior obviously boosted the morale of the forbidden cavalry. After being strengthened once by number 1, even the newly summoned forbidden cavalry had complete intelligence. Growth, evolution, and becoming stronger are the most instinctive desires of any living thing. When this desire is satisfied, one will naturally feel happy and more motivated. Therefore, facing the formal military formation of 50,000 troops, they did not hesitate at all. Just right. When the huge gray-white light shuttle rushed towards the 50,000-strong army, a vast wave of magical power suddenly surged in the opposite camp. Hundreds of skeleton mages and skeleton wizards appeared at the edge of the camp, and waves of surging spells began to appear on the various bone staffs in their hands. There are hundreds of mages in this barracks. Li Xiao was really surprised. For the skeleton army, the number of mages was always very small. Whether it is a skeleton mage or a skeleton wizard, it is very difficult to get by in the most basic and initial stage, that is, before reaching the first level. Because even a low-level skeleton soldier can have a complete body and can use bone knives and swords to chop people, but low-level mages and wizards basically have no attack power. Their tiny amount of magic power can only release spells such as magic missiles, which can probably only kill a chicken. And after releasing it, it takes time to recover the magic power. When facing skeleton warriors of the same level, they have almost no defense ability. Low-level undead creatures have no intelligence, only instincts. So when encountering skeleton warriors, those mages and wizards are basically just nutrients. Therefore, more than 90% of mages and wizards actually died at the threshold of the non-entry level and the first level. However, after reaching the second level, mages and wizards have basically developed complete intelligence, and at this time they can basically win against the second-level skeleton warriors. After all, on the one hand, wisdom itself is the biggest advantage. On the other hand, second-level mages and wizards have also awakened powerful spells and attack skills, and their own lethality is also very considerable. Therefore, skeleton mages and lich mages basically have the same characteristics. 90% of them cannot reach the second level. But once they reach the second level, promotion to the third level is almost certain. Precisely because of this characteristic, it is extremely difficult to train a large number of mages and wizards in a skeleton army. The number of this type of soldiers is extremely small. It is often considered good luck if there are a dozen mages in an army of 100,000. The total strength of this barracks is only 300,000, and half of them are fake, but there is actually a magic regiment of more than 100 people. This lineup configuration can be called luxurious. Number 1 frowned and slowly pulled the dragon-shaped giant bow. 100-man mage group, more than 30 of whom were 3rd-level warriors, could release large-scale 4th-level spells if they joined forces, which was enough to pose a fatal threat to the forbidden cavalry. After all, the mage class is fragile, but powerful. I'll take care of them. Before number 1's dragon-shaped giant bow was fully drawn, Yao Yao's figure flashed and she had already rushed to the left front of the battle formation. Then she waved her hands, and a ball of magic power condensed and quickly formed a huge summoning formation in front of her. The next moment, in the vast fantasy world, 5,000 figures, covered in black and red, appeared, as if they were made of some kind of fire. Is this the Phoenix Flame Demon Soldier? Li Xiao couldn't help but widen his eyes. The Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers were no longer skeleton soldiers, they were not really skeleton soldiers. Instead, they had become a ball of energy made purely of some kind of flame, burning with a black and red light. Li Xiao glanced around and the attributes of these Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers appeared on the system panel. As expected, compared with the first stage militia, their 3 basic attributes, strength, physique, and spirit were all 5 points, which was unexpectedly the same as the forbidden skeleton soldiers summoned before the forbidden summoning skill evolved. However, the biggest difference between them is that they are made of phoenix magic flames and are not real-life forms, so their lifespan is only 3 hours. After 3 hours, they will dissipate and cannot last forever. But this amount of time is enough to sustain a battle. Phoenix Flame Demon Soldier. Destroy all enemies. The next moment, Li Xiao almost habitually opened the Crimson Vision. Now, no matter when, as long as he saw a large gathering place of undead soldiers, he would habitually open the Crimson Vision to take a look. This one glance startled him. A silver beam of light shot up into the sky, standing out among a group of white Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers whose evolutionary potential had only reached the 2nd stage. It has the potential for king-level evolution. This strange energy life with a lifespan of only 3 hours actually has the potential for king-level evolution. Yao Yao was about to use the death armament to equip the 5,000 Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers when she received a reminder from Li Xiao. Yao Yao, don't worry, there are high-level soldiers coming out. Yao Yao was stunned for a moment. After she evolved into a Phoenix Witch, she gained an additional talent called Phoenix Luck. When she cast the Great Summoning Spell, there was a chance that she would summon a high-level Phoenix Vassal. However, this time when she summoned them, she did not sense any high-level soldiers appearing. High-level soldiers were different. They were real creatures born from flames. Their aura was completely different from the lowest-level soldiers like the Phoenix Flame Demon Soldiers. Although Yao Yao was confused, she did not dare to doubt Li Xiao's gaze and asked quickly. That one. Li Xiao didn't have time to explain. The huge blood wings behind him shook, and his figure rushed over like a stream of light. Then he reached out and picked up a Phoenix Flame Demon Soldier, and flew behind him again. While still in midair, he shouted on the emergency link network. Number 9, step out, come here quickly. Everyone else, keep fighting. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe for more videos.